Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let's do some reacting videos. You guys give me the links. I'll react. Let's go.
2025 could be another incredible year of gaming, with long-awaited additions to legendary series and new IPs all vying
Let's
for
let
top
everybody know
spots
I'm on
in
right now.
charts. And whether it's a shooter, RPG, or something else entirely, there's bound to be a game coming that's right for you. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and here are the top games set to launch in 2025. This list could be massive, but we did want to establish some ground rules of games we're not going to talk about in this video. First, anything that's a remake or a remaster. Quite frankly, I'm exhausted by the recycled content just to make a buck, and while nostalgia is good, let's not pretend it's anything more than companies trying to make money. Second, we're not going to talk about games leaving early access. 1.0 versions are exciting, but it's hard to track because developers are constantly moving those goalposts. Finally, there are a number of games on this list with a sweeping 2025 release without a specific date. You'd be
Let's see what's
surprised
happening.
how many games actually have hard dates next year. It's not a lot, so we wanted to relax the rules just a bit.
See what's
That being
coming out
said,
next
we didn't
year.
cover every game with just a broad 2025 date, but just keep that in mind. After 7 years of waiting, Dynasty Warriors Origins arrives on January 17th with a clear return to its roots. For the first time, you'll play as a nameless hero during the late Eastern Han period, which is marked by chaos and corruption, experiencing the Three Kingdoms with a fresh perspective. At the heart of Origins is the combat
looks
that
pretty
made
sweet.
the series famous in the first place. 1 versus 1,000 fighting returns as players must combat entire armies
the
in
sparks.
real time, while strategically commanding your own troops as you attempt to overcome overwhelming odds.
Oh,
You'll be
geez.
able to tap into a variety of skills, including arts, which are unique to the weapons you're using, as well as Mushu attacks, which are powerful battle-shifting abilities. After Dynasty Warrior 9 failed to impress with mediocre reviews across the board, Koei Tecmo is expected to deliver, cleaning up things like the lifeless open world and lack of game modes. Origins will also follow in the
Wait.
footsteps of Dynasty Warrior 9.
Let's see that again.
Koei Tecmo is expected to deliver, cleaning up things like the lifeless open world and lack of game.
I feel like the proportion there is messed up. How is he so big? Is he like a giant or something? That's supposed to be a mountain. Weird.
Game modes. Origins will also follow in the footsteps of Dynasty Warrior 9 and will only be available as a single-player game. Releasing sometime in the early parts of 2025, Dune Awakening looks to capitalize on the success of the modern films
Whoa.
with an open-world survival MMO set on Arrakis. Developed by Funcom, creators of Conan Exiles, you play as a nameless prisoner that must discover for yourself how to survive in the unforgiving desert environment. At the heart of the gameplay is a survival experience where you'll gather, craft, and build, attempting to escape the elements and the
Not enough
enemies that are
stability.
looking to kill you. You'll begin in the Haga Basin, place safe from PvP, but quickly expand your technology and gear in order to travel to dedicated cities.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
But quickly expand your technology and gear in order to travel to dedicated cities
like a
full
mosquito.
of stories and quests.
Flying mosquito.
And then you'll enter the Deep Desert, a more hostile portion of the world where all servers connect and feature large-scale PvE and PvP elements where you fight over spice using ground vehicles, ornithopters, and spice-enhanced soldiers. Coriolis storms will also regularly sweep across the deep desert, changing the landscape, revealing new riches and points of interest, and at all times you'll need to be aware of the ever-present
Oh, man.
threat of sandworms. You can't
I
kill
hate
them, you can only
sandworms.
do your best to evade them. Of course, there will be a huge focus on the survival elements of the game, including water discipline. You'll be forced to avoid the direct sunlight and extract water from plants, animals, and enemies, all in an attempt to stay alive. Dune Awakening is certainly one of our most anticipated games of 2025, and if it delivers, could be one of the biggest games of the new year. Already one of the most wish-listed games of 2025, Civilization 7 continues
Yeah,
to evolve one of the
Civilization
most
7.
beloved
I've heard a
strategy
lot
game
about this
series
one.
on February 6th. The game will
looks
feel familiar to those of you
interesting.
who have played it in the past, but there's also a number of changes that look to keep the Civilization experience fresh.
It's come a long
For
way
starters,
since
the
the
game is
old
divided
ones.
into 3 longer ages: Antiquity, Exploration, and Modern, with players given the option to switch civilizations and leaders at the start of each age. Leaders are also no longer tied to their civilization, giving you a lot more freedom at the start of each game. There's a good number of smaller changes to the foundation of the game too, things that might not sound exciting but have huge implications on the gameplay, such as navigable rivers allowing for movement and trade to happen on interior waterways. A new combat unit called Commanders also looks to give you more options to turn the tide of battles across all fronts, which could prove pivotal given the large scale of Civilization's combat. One of the most anticipated RPGs of 2025, Kingdom Come: Deliverance II, is set to launch on February 11th. The game continues the story of Henry, now a trusted member of the rightful king's allies, as he sets off on a journey filled with revenge, betrayal, and discovery. The game's combat, which many found to be a bit complex, has been refined, lowering the skill floor, making it more accessible to new players.
I don't know if I would do very well
this
kind of game.
Such a challenging system to master.
Looks like VR.
New weapons have also been added, such as crossbows and early forms of firearms, to give the fighting even more diversity, while alchemy and crafting have been enhanced and expanded for even more depth. Add on to that over 5 hours of cinematics, and you've got yourself one of the most ambitious and feature-packed games for 2025. Steeped in controversy, Ubisoft hopes to get the company back on track on February 14th with the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. For the first time in the series' history, the events of the game will take place in
I've never
Japan
played an Assassin's
during
Creed
the Edo
game.
period, a time and location fans have been asking about for decades. You'll take control of Naoe, a shinobi assassin from the Iga clan, and Yasuke, a historically based character and black samurai. Both will have distinctively different fighting styles, including a unique set of weapons and tools that will both give them certain advantages and disadvantages as you play the game. Stealth is still a central theme of Assassin's Creed Shadow, but with Yasuke being more combat focused,
There we go.
the game is
Looks a little
leaning
better
into
now.
both sides of the experience with more ways than ever to defeat foes and navigate around the open world. Players can expect to wield a wide variety of weapons such as katanas, kanabos, bows, naginatas, kunai, shuriken, and smoke bombs. As expected, there will be a main narrative that pushes the entire game forward, but Ubisoft will continue with its open world approach to its modern Assassin's Creed games, loaded with side content that you can opt to explore if that's your thing. Set in the Pillars of Eternity world, Avowed finally launches on February 18th after some swirling mystery and delays. The first-person open-world RPG has been on players' radars for years, with
Wait.
finally
I'll see that
launches
again.
on February 18th after some swirling mystery and delays. The first-person open-world RPG has been on players' radars.
What? What is that? It's got mushrooms growing on him. Man.
For years, with Obsidian Entertainment promising to deliver on a high fantasy adventure that feels unique to other games in that space. Front and center is the combat, which taps into a unique dual-wield system that allows you to mix and match all types of weapons, including double wands or guns. Of course, with any Obsidian game, you can also expect a strong narrative-driven experience with an emphasis on choice. The developers say that your decisions during dialogue will result in different outcomes, both big and small. As someone that has a lot of faith in Obsidian, I am really optimistic about this game, and although the graphics have changed tone from dark fantasy to pure fantasy, I'm still intrigued by what the game has to offer. After the global success of Monster Hunter World, Capcom is back on February 28th with the sixth entry into
Another
the series,
Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter Wilds. Set in the Forbidden Lands, the game
Guys
once
hyped
again
about
thrusts
that?
players into a new
I know some people that
vibrant
play
world,
it.
teeming with formidable monsters. You play as a hunter on a mission to uncover the secrets of the White Wrath and rescue the Keepers whose village has been attacked. Wilds doesn't add any new weapon types to the game, but many of the weapons have been reworked to make them more accessible or interesting than their previous iterations. The team has also promised seamless crossplay from day one, allowing hundreds of players to coexist in a shared world, allowing for easy matchmaking and a more connected experience than ever before. Already one of the top wishlisted games of 2025, I have no doubt Monster Hunter Wilds will launch with huge fanfare. I'm always down for a new ARPG, and Dragonkin the Banished has popped up a number of times in my search for interesting games coming out in 2025. You'll take control of one of 4 heroes as you fight to liberate the world from draconic corruption. The Barbarian uses ice powers from White Dragon Blood, the Oracle employs electric powers from Blue Dragon Blood, the Knight wields a fire lance and shield resisting draconic corruption,
Nice.
and the Tracker utilizes arrows, blades, and traps with draconic toxins. Dragonkin is certainly trying some new things, including the ancestral grid system. Instead of a traditional skill tree, you'll pick up
Hey,
skill
Jake.
pieces
What's
as
going on?
loot and then slot them into a grid, creating a custom playstyle. There's also said to be
Hey,
some
Horfreak.
sort of city building
Hello.
elements in the game, which provide
Welcome.
a bit of respite from the action. If there's one thing I can say definitively, the team is embracing
Checking out
everything
some
Dragons and
videos
sticking
about
to that
upcoming
theme
games.
every aspect of the game. 11-Bit Studios is always trying to push the
Doing some
boundaries of
reacts. You got any
different
videos
genres,
you'd like
and
me
their
to react
upcoming
to,
game, The
Jake?
Alters, is no different. In this game, you play as Jan Dulski, a space miner stranded on a distant, inhospitable planet, and in order to survive, Jan has to make clones
Chillin'
of himself
tonight.
called Alters. Each copy has different skills, personalities, and
got a
backgrounds
burger.
based on different life choices, and it's your job to manage this growing army of Jans as you mine for resources and expand your mobile base as you race against the radiation of the rising star. The gameplay mixes both third-person adventure with side-scrolling base management, and I don't think that's anything we've ever seen before. Whether or not it works, that's another story entirely. But the combination of action and decision-making is sure to be interesting as you learn to live amongst and lead multiple versions of yourself. Should be fun.
That's kind of
Channeling
strange.
some serious Fallout vibes, coming March 2025 is a game called Atomfall. Promoted as a survival action game, your adventure centers around the events of a nuclear incident in a fictional British village. This is a huge step up in terms of ambition for the developer Rebellion, and based
New
on the
Pokemon
gameplay we've seen
Legends
so
ZA
far,
trailer? We can do
Atomfall
that.
has the potential to be a memorable game. There's a lot of similarities to the more modern Fallout games, including both melee and ranged combat.
Let me get that up here. Let's see. YouTube. Pokemon Legends ZA trailer. All right. Official announcement trailer. Huh? I can't read that. Oh, sweet. Oh, man. Very futuristic. That's kind of like the Eiffel Tower there, but in Pokemon world. When's that come out? It's open world? Pokemon Legends. Z. What's the Z for? That's Lumio City. Cool. Zygarde? What's Zygarde? Need to brush up on my Pokemon knowledge. What's this one? It's probably how it will play. It's a legendary Pokemon. There's been some leaks already. First wave of Pokemon Legends Z to A leaks. Have you seen that one?
Be careful, because we started with the first wave of Pokemon Legends Z-Leaks. And this time is serious. Although practically every day there are new rumors and supposed new information, and this is the first time that it really seems legitimate and real. Get ready, because we are going to begin. The first thing I'm going to tell you is where this information comes from. Well, this information comes from 4chan, the forum where everything good and bad is always cooked, and this site is full of fake news and people trying to get attention. I don't know why they don't buy a dog, and anyway, the thing is that from time to time, very occasionally,
some things can be
someone
true on
appears
there.
who does have access to real information. At first it was not easy to identify it, but with the passage
Hello,
of
Drug.
time, we have an idea. This image has appeared with an alternative form of the Pokemon Double. Well, there are three things that makes me think this is real. The first is the Mega Meganium sprite type. Its design matches the one that Game Freak has been using lately to represent each Pokemon on the menu. Also, the level of detail, colors, shadows, everything makes sense, coherence, it's beautiful. Its types would be Plant Fairy, which also hits it a lot. And unfortunately, nothing more is known about it, nothing except one thing, it's Megastone. This image is reason number 2, why it is thought to be real. This text says a mysterious stone, if given to Meganium, allows it to Mega Evolve in combat. Although the point is not what the text says, but rather that it is written in perfect Japanese. In other words, if this is false, the person who did it knows how to draw like a professional, and is bilingual in Japanese or directly Japanese. Anyway, if you are still not convinced, there is something else, the goat. That image could perfectly be false, but another image of the same goat has appeared and in a different perspective. And yes, it is not common at all, the same Pokemon with the same level of detail and from two different angles. If this is fake, it looks like a college assignment. According to the information, this Pokemon would be a Fire Steel type. In theory, you will find...
Why is it crossed out? They don't want to show all the details? Is that what they're covering up there?
him in a ranch in Lumio City, along with other Pokemon like Gogoat, which would have no alternative form. The thing is that all the Pokemon on this ranch would be rideable. It remains to be seen what else is out there. And if you're wondering, all these images have not been taken by the same person who made the post. According to what he tells us, everything here comes from a Nintendo collaborator or worker who for whatever reason got angry with the company for a while and passed him all these images and information. Information that tells us that other Megas would also arrive, such as Mega Feraligatr, Water Dragon type, Mega Typhlosion Fire type, Mega Greninja, Mega Delphox, Mega Chesnoct. By the way, nothing is known about them. But this is amazing, I'm in hype mode. Seriously? Then he also tells us that this character is returning, which seems, in fact, quite accurate to me, since in Scarlet it gave the impression that she had quite a bit of lore. But in the end, nothing happened to her, she was out there making a fuss. Another character who would return would be Handsome, which does make a lot of logic since in Pokemon X and Y, he had an important weight in the plot. Plot that, by the way, as they tell us, would partially or completely revolve around the fact that there are problems with energy in Luminalia City. This would fit, in fact, with what we have seen in the Legends trailer, in which everything appears very energetic. The cause of the problem would be the Zygarde cells that are absorbing the energy. So this man is probably investigating, and when he realizes that the cells are the culprit, he will most likely make us recover them all. Honestly, it sounds a lot like a Game Freak plot. In fact, the leak says verbatim that the story is focused on rebuilding Luminalia City after the Lysandra has destroyed it. This is amazing because it means that this man has gotten his way. That is, he has destroyed the city. Well, maybe not completely, but it may have left it in bad condition. So once again, the urban development plan for Ciudad Luminalia makes a lot of sense. Get the idea that the game is practically going to be about collecting Zygarde cells to rebuild the city. Even if the leak is fake, it makes too much sense. As he tells us below, during the process of collecting cells, there will be Pokemon that will be very angry. Something like a dominant Pokemon, an unbeatable Pokemon. What do I know? He gives us an example with Mega Clawitzer, who says that it will be one of the new Megas, and that it will act like a forest, and that it is very angry about the issue of cells. Specifically, it tells us that this Pokemon will be found in an aquatic energy plant, that it is a water steel type, and that its combat is very difficult. Well, that last one will be the opinion of the person who has seen it. I wouldn't trust it too much, to be honest, and I hope this game is really difficult. Come on, I would love this, but I don't have an opinion on the issue of difficulties until I play it. Anyway, we have one last image, which is the one I trust the least, and the one that is most likely false. But since it has a certain level of credibility, I'll show it to you. It's what looks like an alternative form of Rockruff, or a new dog that would be a poison type, which doesn't fit with its design to me. But that also precisely makes me suspect that it may be real, because when they create a fake of these, a false image makes the Pokemon look as similar as possible to its type. That's precisely why I think so. Maybe it's a Game Freak thing. In the end, it remains to be seen. Oh, I forgot to tell you that this claw you see there is in theory the Mega Clawitzer claw, nothing more and nothing less. I trust your intuition a lot, so what I would like is to know if you think this is real, and share it with your friends to see what they think, because for me, oh, I think it is real.
Pokemon Legends ZA was recently announced and I am very excited for it, but one question immediately came to mind when I saw it. What will the starters be? Pokemon Legends Arceus, the first installment in this series, took place in past Sinnoh, but the starters were Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott, 3 Pokemon not previously obtained in Sinnoh. I expect the Legends series to continue this trend. There are 4 main criteria I believe exist for Pokemon Legends starters. The first and simplest is that it can't be starters from a previous Legends game, so Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott are out. It'd be weird if they repeated any of those in back-to-back Legends games. The second criteria is that it cannot be the new starters from the same generation. Legends Arceus is a Gen 8 game, and the Gen 8 Galar starters are nowhere to be seen in Legends Arceus, since they just received focus in their brand new game, Sword and Shield. Therefore, I don't think Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxly will be starter choices in Legends ZA. I actually don't think they'll be obtainable at all, along with all of the other Paldea Pokemon. There were not any Galar introduced new Pokemon available in Legends Arceus, so I think the same will be true moving from Scarlet and Violet to Legends ZA. The third is that they cannot be starters previously selectable in the region where the game takes place. Legends Arceus gave us a new story in a familiar place, and changing the starters added more of a fun twist to that. I expect Legends ZA will do the same, and therefore not give us starters that Kalos has seen before. This eliminates Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie, plus Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. In case you forgot, plus Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. In case you forgot, X and Y are the only games to ever allow the player to choose 2 starters from 2 sets of 3. I would be very surprised if we could choose any of these 6 again, but I feel very confident we'll be able to obtain them maybe in the wild, like how we could find wild Sinnoh starters in Legends Arceus. The fourth and final criteria is that they have to be Pokemon that can get a new form. Legends Arceus gave Decidueye, Typhlosion, and Samurott new regional variants to add an exciting new twist to them, plus to align them more with the culture of the Hisui region. I expect the fully evolved Legends ZA starters to get some kind of new form, but what form exactly? If the new Legends game was anywhere but Kalos, I would say just straightforward regional variants like in Legends Arceus. However, we know that Mega Evolution is coming back for Legends ZA, and therefore I think it's extremely likely that the new starters are going to get never before seen brand new Mega Evolutions. Now, I know this has some downsides because if you transfer them to another game, the Mega Evolution isn't going with it. Whereas if you have a regional Hisuian Decidueye, you can move that to another game and it's still a Hisuian Decidueye, for example. However, even though that downside exists, I still feel like Mega Evolution is what they're gonna do here. They announced the game with, hey, look, Mega Evolution is back. And so I feel like giving the starters new Mega Evolutions is gonna be a really big draw, like how they gave new Mega Evolutions to the Hoenn starters in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, I suppose they could also give all the Final Evolved starters new regional variants and Mega Evolutions for those regional variants, but that would be 2 new forms per Pokemon. I don't know if they've ever done that before, so I feel like that's way less likely. So if we're picking starters to get new Mega Evolutions never before seen, the Hoenn starters are eliminated, along with the Kanto starters, again. All of them got Mega Evolutions back in Gen 6, and I would be very surprised if they got new ones. I think they'll be in the game though. I feel strongly that any Pokemon that has ever had a Mega Evolution will be available in Legends ZA, except maybe Rayquaza, but even then they could do some kind of post-game thing. You know what, I'm calling it now, the Kanto, Hoenn, and Kalos starters will all be obtainable in Legends ZA, just not as starters you pick to start your adventure. I will say the Kalos starters do not have Megas, so they could be candidates here, but again, I'd be very surprised if they got new Megas since they don't have them in X and Y. I suppose there could be some kind of excuse about like, oh, there was a Chestnutite, but it was lost over time, and that's why they don't exist in X and Y, but that feels like kind of convoluted, just doesn't sit right with me. By the way, quick side note, I've seen a lot of people talk about how, Legends ZA is gonna be in the future Kalos, where, no. I understand the look of Lumiose is futuristic in the trailer, but it's actually just a 3D representation of a blueprint within the urban redevelopment plan. It seems to me that the story of the game will be the player assisting in building Lumiose City into what it is in X and Y. Therefore, Legends ZA takes place in the past. So with all these criteria, we've eliminated the Kanto, Hoenn, Kalos, and Paldea starters, plus Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott. That leaves us with Chikorita and Totodile from Johto, all 3 Sinnoh starters, Snivy and Tepig from Unova, Litten and Popplio from Alola, and all 3 Galar starters. But which of all of these options would become the 3 starters in Legends ZA? Well, we can make an educated guess based on how they selected starters for Legends Arceus. But how did they do that? One theory I think holds weight is that they picked the most popular starter from the chosen regions. In the 2020 Pokemon of the Year vote, Rowlet and Decidueye were the number 2 and 3 most popular Pokemon in Alola, while Incineroar and Primarina were 6 and 8 respectively. Then in Johto, Typhlosion and Cyndaquil were 4 and 8 respectively, while the only other starter to break the top 10 was Totodile at number 10. But then Unova kind of breaks this theory a bit. Serperior was the top starter at number 6 among all Unova Pokemon, while Oshawott was number 7, albeit only losing by 279 votes when each got around 22,000. But then Snivy came in at number 13, while Samurott was down at 18. This indicates that the Snivy line is more popular than the Oshawott line. However, it's not dramatically more popular like both of them are compared to the Tepig line. None of them cracked Unova's top 30. So the popularity theory isn't airtight, but it does tell us that none of the starters chosen were unpopular. They're either the most popular starter in their region, or they're the second by a small margin. Let's first look at the Sinnoh and Galar starters' popularity. These are the only 2 viable starter groups left with all 3 starters available, so simply due to having more available, these trios are the most likely to have a starter selected from them. In Sinnoh, the Piplup line is the most popular. Piplup finished at number 4 of Sinnoh Pokemon in the Pokemon of the Year vote, and Empoleon was at 9. Infernape finished close behind Piplup at number 5, but neither Chimchar nor Monferno made it into the top 30. Meanwhile, Torterra was at 12, while Turtwig was at 21. To me, this shows Piplup has a clear lead, but I do think Chimchar is still popular enough that it could still be selected, much like Oshawott being selected over Snivy. Turtwig and Torterra, though, I think they're too far behind, making them least likely of the 3, which is a bummer. I love Torterra. In Galar, the Scorbunny line is the most popular. Cinderace was 6th, while Scorbunny was 12th. Inteleon beat Scorbunny, finishing at 10th, but Sobble was at 14th, so the Scorbunny line's average position was higher. Grookey, meanwhile, was down at 20, while Rillaboom was down at 29. As for the other pairs of starters, in Johto, Totodile finished at 10, while Feraligatr was at 16. Chikorita was at 14, but neither Bayleaf nor Meganium made it into the top 30. Totodile has the edge over Chikorita. In Unova, as already discussed, the Snivy line is the most popular, with Tepig very far behind. Finally, in Alola, Incineroar was 6 and Litten was 13, while Primarina was 8 and Popplio was 28. Litten has the clear popularity advantage. So that covers popularity, and I have some ideas from that, but there's another theory for how the Legends Arceus starters were selected. Connection to the culture of the region, despite not being from it. Loxton has a great video about this, but to summarize it, Hisui and Sinnoh are based on Hokkaido, which is the northernmost part of Japan. Decidueye, Typhlosion, and Samurott all have inspirations tied to Japan even before their Hisuian forms were created. Samurott is a samurai, which is pretty straightforward. Decidueye is an archer, which was actually a more common combat method than sword fighting for samurai, and that matters because Hisuian Decidueye is a ronin, a wandering samurai with no master. Finally, Typhlosion could be partially based on a Mujina, a badger-like yokai. So I believe the most likely starters are ones that are not only popular, but have ties to France, since Kalos is France. With that in mind, here is my official prediction for the Legends ZA starter trio. First is Snivy. It's the most popular Unova starter, and with Unova getting skipped over for a revisit, making Snivy a starter in Legends ZA would give Unova at least a little bit of love. Additionally, Serperior's design is very French. Superior represents Western culture, while Embor represents Chinese and Samurati Japanese, but specifically, Superior focuses on aristocracy and royalty, something not exclusive to France, but a big part of its history. Its face is white, like the skin-whitening fashion in Europe, and its collar is reminiscent of a fleur-de-lis, a symbol most commonly associated with France. Some also theorize Superior's amplification of sunlight is a nod to King Louis XIV of France, referred to as the Sun King. Plus, Ken Sugimori specifically mentioned Superior being inspired by Lady Oscar from the manga The Rose of Versailles, a historical fiction series set in France. Speaking of extremely French starters, Empoleon. Napoleon is most of its name. Specifically Napoleon Bonaparte, one-time emperor of France. It's even got these frilly collar things like certain depictions of Napoleon have. And as we already discussed, this line is the most popular in Sinnoh, so I think Piplup will be the water starter. Finally, fire. No starters are as obviously French as Superior and Empoleon, so admittedly this connection won't be as strong. The remaining fire starter options are only Litten and Scorbunny to avoid taking 2 starters from the same region, thus eliminating Chimchar and Tepig. Both Litten and Scorbunny are the most popular available starter in that region. Between the two though, Scorbunny makes a lot more sense to me because Cinderace is a soccer player. Modern association football has its roots in England, and English football is absolutely huge, hence why Cinderace exists in the UK-inspired region of Galar. However, soccer is still a big deal in France. Their national team was founded in 1904, around the same time as FIFA, and since then their men's team has won 2 World Cups, first in 1998, then very recently in 2018. I do not follow soccer, but I know of their most famous pro team, Paris Saint-Germain. So while it's not as good as Superior or Empoleon, Cinderace's connection to France isn't nothing, and is definitely stronger than Incineroar being a wrestler. Like, yeah, Andre the Giant was French, but like, France has won the World Cup twice. There's only a few other countries that have done that. So my final prediction for the starter trio is Snivy, Scorbunny, and Piplup, with each of their final forms getting a never-before-seen Mega Evolution. Maybe a regional variant too, but Mega feels more likely. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more stuff for Legends ZA and whatever other Pokemon stuff I talk about, make sure to subscribe. And there's a video on screen that YouTube thinks you specifically will really enjoy, so check that out. But that is all I have for now. So until next time, Pokemon fans, gotta catch them all.
Hey, hi. Come here. Yeah, over here. Do you have a minute? Our car broke down, and I think it's got to.
Oh, wow, thank you. We've almost lost everything. I don't know how we ever... Can you fix my son? He is possessed. You will go down into the basement. You give him a medicine. I think it's going well, huh? Is it done? Thank you so much for saving a son.
Just what I was looking for. Yes.
Not here. Not in town. I can't. Cannot. Impossible. No. I can't. Not in town. Cannot. Not here. No.
Eventful dungeon.
Hey there. Hi. We could really use your help. Come here.
Help.
Hi. We were all dying. He's suffering from terminal cancer right now. Oh, look out. Here, I'll time you, just in case.
Tasty.
Oh, there's some more. Look out. Oh, you're almost out of time. 3 seconds left. Oh, what a shame. Too bad. You didn't do it. You didn't do it in time. Oh well. Here, you can have it.
Those events.
You can have that.
They were rough.
Good night.
Before they fixed it.
Oh, hi. Come here. We could really use your help. See, we're all dying, and come on, get over here, help us. We could really use your help.
Love that sound. Oh, they'll still go in your stash.
Help!
Salvage.
Hello, come help us. Please help us before we go.
Too much crowd control.
No. What else? No way. I can't use this. I can't.
So much useless loot.
What the hell is that? No, not in time. Go on. Yes. Yes. Yes.
The butcher. Oh no, go back, go back. Oh. Fresh meat.
Get over here!
That's happened to me a few times. One too many. Every side quest.
Hello, my son.
They're so boring, a lot
he
of
was
them.
killed by a cursed. Okay, he's a ghost now, and he. Okay. Sorry. Okay, where was I? Oh, no, not that one. Okay, let me show you where it is on your map. Okay, so I think it's right there.
Okay.
So, did you kill my son? Again? Oh, thank you. Maybe he will stop hounding me for the V-Bucks, eh?
V-Bucks.
Here you go. All for you.
Yay.
Help! Run.
Come on.
Greetings.
Touch the fire.
The show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
That's me. Always behind everybody. That's it. That's how you do a Legion. Yay. Nothing to get. Pointless. Ran out. Uh-oh. Uber Lilith. It's time. Pretty much. Not so fast. That was great. Amazing. I hope they make more. Anybody got any other links we should check out? Default cat settings. 12 famous Pokemon theories, and if they're true. Kitten Bowl, that's 2 hours. That'd be a bit much. More D4 stuff. All right. Season 7 review. Have you seen that yet? Oh, 10 reasons why Diablo 4 is a superior game versus Path of Exile 2. What do you think? Is it still superior?
I think at this point in time, while everybody is glazing Path of Exile 2, it's super important for us to remain grounded. And a video like this is very, very important because we need to remember some simple facts as to why Diablo, the franchise itself, but also just Diablo 4 with its most recent expansion, is by far the superior game as well as experience, especially if you are an ARPG veteran like myself, somebody who has grown up with the genre and essentially knows quality from, you know, something that's just basically really, really cool right now while everybody's supporting it, but, you know, it eventually goes away. So in this video, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go through 10 easy reasons why Diablo 4 and the Diablo franchise is better than Path of Exile 2, or pretty much anything from that whole camp. Let's get started. We'll start with the easy stuff first, where it's very, very simple to understand why Diablo is better, and we'll get to the harder ones. So first things first, reason number 1, microtransactions. This is the Diablo 4 store. And you'll notice that, yes, we do have microtransactions in here, of course, but all of this stuff is cosmetics. There are skins for horses. There's, you know, like, you know, you can buy like weapon skins. You can get like a whole outfit, everything like that. But the point is, this stuff is all optional.
You don't have to buy it.
None of this makes you play better. None of this makes you get further in the game. All of this is just Riz for your character, and so you can completely sidestep any of this without having to swipe your credit card once, meaning that Diablo is the superior experience because what you're doing is you pay once at the beginning, and then of course if you want to engage in things like season passes and stuff like that, you pay once for the main game, you pay once for the expansion, and you're done. If you want to buy this stuff, you want to spend daddy's credit card, then sure, go right ahead. But other than that,
I haven't bought anything from the store yet.
That one amount that you spend at the beginning.
Never did.
Next up is whatever the hell this dystopian nightmare of a shop is in Path of Exile 2, which is just jam-packed with early access support packages and all this stuff. A lot of like cosmetics and so on, which, yes, Diablo has that as well. But then also just sort of like slid in the back here, just general things which actually improve your game if like you are actually buying them, like stash tabs, like additional stash tabs, everything like that, upgrading to premium stash tab, currency stash tabs. All of these things make the game easier and better for the person who's paying for them. And so that, in my definition, I mean, if this isn't pay to win, or at the very least pay for comfort, then I don't know what is. And I mean, in the time where we are now in the gaming space, is this not the sort of thing that we frown upon? Like, honestly, this doesn't exist in Diablo and hasn't existed in Diablo. And if Diablo tried to do this, we would be on them so bad, but it's okay that this game does it. Next up, sticking with this game now, we all know the quality that Diablo brings to the table when it comes to telling a story. I'm in Act 3 of Path of Exile 2 now. I have no idea what's going on. It's a mixed match of just being very on the nose and just like not keeping any mystery, any suspense there, or basically not knowing exactly where you are in the game, who you're supposed to kill, why someone's suddenly a bad guy, why someone's a good guy. It's just a mess. It's terribly put together. Diablo is the only game that can build suspense to a point. I mean, we're up to the first expansion already and Diablo hasn't even shown up yet. That is building up to such a awesome story point and delivery when we maybe see him in like the second or hopefully the third expansion. I hope they make that many expansions. But the point is, we haven't even seen the titular character that the game is named after in yet. That is suspense building and story building that you cannot find anywhere else, especially in this ARPG. And then thirdly, I just gotta ask, what the fuck is this? Like, this, for anybody who is unaware, is the table where you pick your skills. This is the passive skills table, so this is like attribute boost, and it unlocks like additional abilities, and you can slot jewels in here and all this stuff. But this is the primary, you know, system in the game that increases your character power. Yes, you get it from gear and stuff like that, and the skill gems and blah 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 blah. But this is the primary way in which every time when you level, you get a point and you click it in. But how the fuck are you supposed to know where you have these guys signed some kind of an exclusivity agreement with all the content creators, because this is automatic content for them, because no normal human being can figure this shit out. This is ridiculous. I have a civil engineering degree and I have no idea what they're trying to get me to do here. This is how you do a fucking skill tree. 1 to 2, possibly 3 choices tops. Super easy to figure out. You can quickly re-gear everything. You know, you can quickly test between the 2 options, see which one you like. There's no kind of weird stuff that you have to understand. No weird substats and everything that don't matter, like accuracy and stuff like that, which you get in Path of Exile 2. Just a lot simpler to work with. I get the fact that some people want things to be a little bit complex and a little bit hard to figure out, but I don't want to have a fucking Rosetta Stone to just understand the basics of leveling my character from 1 to 10. Then in 4th place, honestly, I can't fucking keep a straight face anymore. This started out as like satire just to kind of like cheer me up on like a, you know, a pretty boring Monday. And yeah, I can't pull this shit off anymore. I want to first of all just start off by saying that, I mean, I'm like a gamer. I started in the, you know, late 80s, early 90s, and one of the earliest memories I have of where I had to earn playing a game was I, you know, had to do an insane amount of like summer jobs and everything like that. Actually, probably like more than one summer rotation where I was trying to save up money, pocket money, so I could buy my first shitty, beat up secondhand PC. So that I could play the original Diablo on it. I'd seen it at a friend's house. I fell in love with that shit, and eventually they wouldn't let me come to the house anymore to play the game. So I figured out I had to do something myself and get it. And I've been an avid supporter of the franchise, but also the genre of ARPGs ever since then. And I believe, like, in a way, like, I've had rose-tinted glasses when it comes to like Diablo and everything like that. And I've come to realize that that's because Diablo is the Call of Duty of the ARPG world. And I don't mean in terms of like annual releases, because, you know, obviously that's not happening, but I really mean it in terms of like the inability for them to like just innovate and essentially just take chances and move the genre forward. And it takes a game like Path of Exile 2 and obviously Path of Exile 1, which is the shame, because I avoided that game like the fucking plague, because I was scared for a lot of the things which I was making fun of in this video, but I didn't understand it, and now I do. I just came off an extremely intimate weekend with Path of Exile 2 since the launch, and I walked away from that, or I'm still in the fucking afterglow of that, but I've walked away from that a changed man, and I get it. I get what people are talking about. It makes complete sense to me now. So I think, I mean, Path of Exile 2, again, coming from a guy who my really first Path of Exile experience is Path of Exile 2. So for a lot of you, you might be saying, well, fucking duh, bro. This has been the case with Path of Exile 1 since, you know, the beginning. But take it from someone who showed up late to the party. But the point is, I get it. I understand. This game might very well be a generational ARPG that in many ways sets the bar far higher than any of its predecessors before ever could. I hate the fact that I have to reduce my love for Diablo as a franchise, but also Diablo 4, to just pleasant memories, and that I can't link to anything in the game right now, which is something that I think is a good idea, works very well, is fun to interact with,
come back.
anything like that, because I've tasted the forbidden fruit. So I mean, I know I've probably lost a whole bunch of people with that shit at the beginning of the video, but if you're still sticking around, and if you're on, because my channel, you know, has a whole bunch of different genres on it, but there's definitely Diablo stuff on here as well. And I do know some of the people that watch my videos also do play ARPGs as well. And if you have for some reason been on the fence about trying this out, and you've been using the fact like there's, you know, $30 that you have to pay as an entry into it, you know, so you don't want to take the chance of doing that, take it personally from me that it is absolutely worth it. Yes, the game is complex. It's more complex than Diablo for sure, but let's be honest, you know, like a fucking game of tic-tac-toe in certain cases is more advanced than Diablo 4 at this point in time. I'm sorry, dude, I hate to be the fucking guy, but like it's when you see something that's so far ahead of the curve, then you look back at what you comparing it against and you're just like, the fuck. How it's like suddenly I got contact lenses and I can see I've been blind my whole life. But in any case, the point is, if you're thinking about taking the plunge or anything like that, yes, you are going to be dealing with a more complex game than Diablo, but that's in itself not saying much, and it is difficult. All right, there's a reason why people call this game the Dark Souls of ARPGs, and I mean, it's not quite there, but it is certainly difficult. I just finished Act 2 a couple of hours back, and it is some of the most frustratingly challenging shit that I've had to do in an ARPG, but super satisfying to do. I think personally the Act 1 boss of
I'll
Path
try
of
it
Exile
eventually.
2, that fucking boss has more going for it from a spectacle perspective, a difficulty perspective, phases, all of that, just general fight enjoyment than anything that I've seen ever in Diablo. And that makes me sad, because this game has basically made it so that I can only refer or look back pleasantly at memories that I have from many years ago, Diablo 2 and stuff like that, and that's the last time that I connected with that game. So I think I want to end this off. I know it's a weird kind of video. I started out with an idea and I'm hoping that it panned out, but I do want to say that I'm not going to do a review of Path of Exile 2 for the channel or anything like that, because I think I'd have to spend many more hours, and especially get into the end game before I can even attempt to do that. But see this as a mini review from my side. If there was any of you that were wondering, you know, if this is worth it to get into or if I'm enjoying it, the answer to both of those questions is a fucking resounding yes. This shit is good and you need to get on it as soon as you can. Other than that, as usual, fucking
check
cheers.
it out, guys. What do you think? Should we try Path of Exile 2 one of these days? It's probably a good idea. Oh, everything Diablo 3? Huh? Might have to check that out. PoE 2 as a D4 player, my first 3 days. Diablo 2, the game, the movie? What's D3 like? I want to see this. I remember D3.
And at the end of days,
Deckard
the first
Cain.
sign shall appear in the heavens. justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity. Yes.
Ow.
Are you all right?
We should be getting you home.
But there's still work to be done. If these translations are correct, the powers of hell could already be on the move. You do believe me, don't you, Leah? It has begun.
Leave it, Uncle. It's not important.
Uh-oh. Bye-bye, Deckard. Oh, he's there. He made it.
Ah.
Not anymore.
This video is sponsored by Dragonair, Silent Gods. Click the link below to download the game and use the code to redeem limited edition gift pack. Dragonair, Silent Gods is a fantasy-themed open-world strategy RPG which seamlessly integrates classic Western TRPG gameplay inspired by Dungeons & Dragons and has garnered over 10 million downloads worldwide and securing the top spot in more than 10 regions since its global launch. First phase of Dragonair's collaboration with Dungeons & Dragons was officially launched November 17th. D&D characters Drizzt, Duerden, and Ertu have joined the game, as well as other iconic D&D characters coming through future seasonal content. Dragonair includes game characters and mechanics that D&D fans know and love. Unpredictable enjoyment. You know, dice rolls tech, creating unique characters, tactical grid-based battle, the whole shebang. Journey with Drizzt and the Black Panther Guinevere. Journey with Drizzt and his Black Panther Guinevere on their own complete storyline. Dragonair is now live on Windows, Mac, Steam, and Epic with compatibility on both mobile platforms, Android and iOS. Click the link below to download the game and use this code to redeem limited edition gift pack. Join Dungeons & Dragons Legends on Dragonair. See you there. Shh. Silent Gods.
New Tristram.
There's Beach Boy, there's Act 3 bosses, there's Asmodan. Hey, what's up? Let's get me.
The world must be told of the coming.
Diablo was defeated. For a time it seemed we would know peace. But it was not to be. For Diablo's essence lingers in the Black Soul Stone. I cannot destroy the stone, nor allow its evil to remain within the heavens. And so it must be hidden, even from the angels. I pray that it will be enough.
Looks familiar. Very familiar.
You have done well, Horadrim. Your service here is finished. And you should all... run. Malthael.
What? No.
Go! Go! Find the Nephilim!
The ear. Take his ear. Nope. That's not gonna work.
The Nephilim will stop you.
No one can stop death.
Goblin. Reaper of Souls. Necro OP. Nice. What do you guys think? Anything else we'd like to watch? Trying to come up with some more ideas here. Top 31 most insane new games. Entire history of video games. That's only 6 hours of our time. 20 best games you need to revisit. What games should we revisit? Let's see.
Today, we're rounding up 20 of the best single-player games from 2010 to 2020. A 10-year gap of really good game releases. If you like just regular old single-player adventures, this is the list for you. Although, this was a tough... They made me make this one, and it's really tough because it is so hard to round it down to 20 games. It's completely subjective, and it's nearly impossible, but we tried to just round up a good list of games we felt like talking about today. That's all we do. We're looking forward to hearing your picks in the comments. But let's get started off with number 20. Red Dead Redemption from 2010 is an obvious one. I mean, it's a list
I've
of
always
obvious
wanted
games,
to play
but
this
that's
one.
the point of it here. Red Dead Redemption
never got around
is
to it.
absolutely incredible. The look, the feel of the adventure, how fun it was to hop on a horse, ride around in an open world, and shoot bad guys, or sometimes good guys. But it was everything else. It was like when Rockstar was really starting to take storytelling really seriously, and they nailed it here, from tone and atmosphere to music choices to writing and dialogue and incredible voice acting. They told a really, really good story here with the kind of
nice
Wild
setting.
West wrapping things up. The century was turning, cowboys had not much to do, and one man's personal journey really reflected all that, and man, it went places. It's just a legendary game, an incredible story, but also just fun as hell to play. Open world cowboy game, I'm in.
I'm gonna write that one down. Gotta try it. The first one. The second one looks good too, but the first one could be pretty fun.
Take more than one of you, partner.
Single player though, so I can't play with you guys. That's kind of unfortunate.
Next, over at number 19, we have God of War 3 from 2010. Everybody has their own favorite God of War game, and this one is definitely a contender because Kratos is on such a rampage in this game and kills so many gods, it's just insane. They really, really fulfill the promise that these games had kind of built up, with Kratos just really killing the entire Greek mythology pantheon. But he does it in just incredibly memorable, fun ways. The big action set piece sequences here, the over-the-top boss battles. Every moment of this game is well-paced and thrilling. There's only like a couple of parts where the pacing drops. Otherwise, this is just a high-octane, insane action thrill ride. The combat was the best it had been at this point. The upgrades, the new weapon additions, everything just worked perfectly. It felt like another really lengthy odyssey in Kratos' life. God of War 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion, are perfect games. And God of War 3 really rounded out this kind of early trilogy of God of War perfectly.
Looks like console to me. Stabbies. Lots of stabbies.
Next, over at number 18, we have Fallout New Vegas from 2010. This was a flawed masterpiece when it first released. It was a buggy mess, but underneath it was Obsidian at their absolute best, man. Just writing incredibly awesome quests, cool characters, great side quests and side diversions, interesting world building, faction stuff, decision making. They really nailed the RPG and RPG storytelling stuff here so well that people are still raving about this game to this day. For some people, this is the peak of Fallout.
So primitive looking, but I'm sure it's fun.
You like that?
Oh.
Next, over at number
Brutal.
17, if we're talking about RPG decisions, we have to talk about Mass Effect 2. What a game, man. The original was a flawed masterpiece, and Mass Effect 2 kind of took everything that the first game really nailed and fixed some of the issues it had and just made a well-rounded, awesome adventure. Something that was very clearly ramping up to be a trilogy. It was filled with memorable characters, great decisions, and essentially a big suicide mission at the end of the game where a lot of your choices would pay off. Not to mention, it just had more interesting scenarios, more interesting characters, better shooting than the original game. Mass Effect 2 was just a recipe for success, and BioWare nailed it here.
Gotcha!
Good action.
Fight as one.
Ship is getting hot here.
Now, next over at number 16, if we're talking sequels, Portal 2. I'm glad we got a Valve game on
Oh,
here
man,
because it's few
Portal's
and far
sweet.
between when they actually release a game, and Portal 2 was like the peak. Portal 1 felt like a fun, awesome, playable experiment, where Portal 2 was a full-fledged ass game with modes, a great single-player adventure that was incredibly compelling, and had a really cool ending. These games were fun, but also accessible puzzle games. The Thinking Man's game that just developed a really, really good puzzle language that was easy for anyone to jump in and didn't get too bogged down into the weeds. Also, of course, it just has that Valve trademark vibe and feel to it that people still love to this day.
Tempted to play this one too.
Congratulations. Not on the test. Most people emerge from suspension terribly undernourished. I want to congratulate you on beating the odds and somehow managing to pack on a few pounds.
Next, over at number 15, we have
Made it
Batman
out.
Arkham City. The follow-up to Batman Arkham Asylum took everything that made that game great and put it in a bigger, more open world. And they nailed it. An incredible adventure with like Ra's al Ghul, the Joker, Harley Quinn, Clayface. Everybody shows up here. And it just made for a perfect Batman adventure with incredible encounters, cool scenarios, really, really good pacing. You would see and do so many things in this game, all culminating in an incredible ending. In my opinion, one of the best Batman endings, anything. I'm talking movies, comics, games, whatever. Just a cool ending. If you've never experienced Arkham City, and I hope you have, but if you haven't, you really should, man.
I got a camera out in Sector 4.
There's some kind of fight going on over there.
Very satisfying combat.
Next, over at number 14, we have Skyrim from 2011. Skyrim is huge. Skyrim at this point is the blueprint for a lot of people in terms of like single player adventure RPGs. This game was so vast, there was so much to it, there were so many different ways you could build your character and just kind of live in this world. And what I think is really significant about it is that this was when Elder Scrolls really blew up. There were so many people that Skyrim was their first experience of anything Elder Scrolls, and from there, they were hooked. And I think the game deserves a lot of praise for that. Even if I'm partial to Oblivion or Morrowind because I'm an elderly gamer, Skyrim is still absolutely awesome.
Boom. This guy's got some range on that fireball. Jeez.
Next, over at number 13, we have Dark Souls from 2011. You know we had to mention a From Software game, and this one was the perfect one to mention because it's the one that really started it all. I mean, yes, you can argue Demon Souls did, but Dark Souls took the concept and ran with it, giving players incredibly memorable moments, encounters, and areas right from the start of the game. Like right from the jump, Dark Souls gripped people, and since then, it's never really let go. Next, over at number 12, we have Max Payne 3, a game that I think still doesn't get enough love if we're talking like greatest lists. Max Payne 3 is absolutely different from Max Payne 1 and 2. You know, mostly a different team working on it, and like I'll admit that it feels different. It's not like the ideal follow-up, but it is an incredibly memorable and awesome adventure with so many unique moments and just really, really good third-person shooting. Just good bullet time blasting with slow-mo,
Boomer
blood,
flash,
gore, and an incredibly gritty,
for
dramatic
boomers
story with over-the-top music, great voice acting, and awesome writing. While Max Payne 3, like I said, feels different from Max Payne 1 and 2, it carries that spirit really, really well.
Sweet.
Next, over at number
That would be
11, we
me.
have Far Cry 3 from 2012. Look, man, Far Cry at this point is kind of like the punching bag. Ubisoft has done this franchise to death, but where it all started, credit where credit's due, Far Cry 3 really made that formula that Ubisoft ran with. And in 2012, this formula was addictive, fresh, and fun. This was just an open world, single player adventure with tons of freedom
played this
and
one
a huge,
quite a bit.
vast jungle island to explore, a unique villain, and surprisingly good character progression in terms of like how you're leveling up and getting more abilities. It was
Really
just
liked
so
it.
satisfying to play. I remember being absolutely hooked on this game. While yes, the series now has kind of stretched things to its limits, I'm still so glad Far Cry 3 was a thing and that so many people loved it.
Traffic control!
I can't do this! How am I supposed to handle this?
You're doing fine!
They're shooting at us! What are you doing? You're shooting at them, Jason!
Don't jerk the wheel!
You're not helping!
Next, over at number 10, we have Grand Theft Auto 5. This 2013 powerhouse of a game is still going strong today. Yes, you could
It's
argue
been around
that's probably
for
because of the
11
multiplayer
years now?
component, you know, GTA Online, but this is a single player games list, and I think plenty of people are still living in the world of
Next
Los
year's
Santos,
gonna be
just
big
messing
for
around
GTA
as
6.
Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. And for
It's gonna
good
be
reason.
huge.
It's an incredibly detailed and fun, awesome world. It's another Grand Theft Auto. What more do you want? Is it the best Grand Theft Auto? I don't know about that, but it's still a wacky, crazy story with tons of cool missions. There's a reason it feels like Rockstar hasn't topped this one yet. I mean, we're still waiting for GTA 6 at the time of making this video, so we'll just have to wait and see how that ends up. But for now, we have GTA 5.
I need some help, man, quick! Hey, these punks causing trouble! There you go!
It wouldn't be right if I didn't have to
Homie, I need
save your ass just once.
Save me? They got missile coming. Hit the fucking floor. Come on, man, show me some love. Why was your daddy drinking when he sees you out? Lame punk. Get your fucking head down. Motherfucker. Homie, get out. What I say? A fucked up homie for a fucked up situation. Right on 2 counts, dawg.
Oh.
Man, I gotta stay out here with Lamar. Can you get to him?
Now, next over at number 9, we have The Last of Us from 2013. This is another game that pushed storytelling forward in the video game medium. Just a really, really cool, gritty, kind of depressing adventure with characters, heart, and really, really good pacing in this like intriguing world. But for me, it was actually all about the gameplay. There are some really memorable moments in this game. Some of the early encounters and scraps with humans, to some of the really outright horrific kind of survival horror moments with clickers. This game just nailed that brutal, gritty gameplay. You see a guy, you're desperate, you have only 2 bullets left, so you shoot him in the legs and run up and hit him in the face with a brick. It's stuff like that. This game makes you play dirty, and it makes you feel dirty in ways that really left a lasting impression on a lot of people.
Whoa.
Keep running! Those people are on fire.
Don't look, Sarah.
Why are they doing that?
Just keep looking at me, baby.
Man.
I promise.
Next over at number 8, we have Bloodborne from 2015.
Crazy.
This is From Software's now certified PlayStation classic that still to this day people are begging for a sequel or an update to 60 FPS, anything really, just because the power, the allure of Bloodborne is still so strong. A little bit faster paced, more aggressive combat, really cool horror atmosphere, and incredible over-the-top boss battles just really help this one stand out. What starts as a very spooky, Halloweeny, gothic adventure just continues to escalate into more and more From Software style craziness. This adventure is one for the ages. Of course, it's a From Software game, so it's incredibly challenging, but it's also just uniquely cool. Next over at number 7, we have The Witcher 3. Yes, The Witcher 3 released in 2015. It's been a while, but people are still playing this game to this day, and it still feels fresh. This is just a big old third-person open-world RPG with incredible quests in a gritty medieval fantasy world, based, of course, on the classic Polish novels.
Witcher 3,
having
I've
that
always
world,
wanted to play
having that
through this.
freedom, all that is great, but the fact that it's all rooted around Geralt of Rivia, an incredibly awesome and interesting and unique protagonist with great voice acting and great writing to back him up, just really seals the deal here. Whether you're hunting monsters, dealing with politics in the cities, getting into romantic flings with witches, The Witcher 3 really just has it all for fantasy adventure RPG style gamers. It is near perfect. And I'd say when you add in all the DLC and expansions and everything, it is just the perfect package. Next over at number 6, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild from 2017.
Oh, man.
The launch of the Switch was elevated thanks to this game. A Zelda game, of course, usually always great, but this one really kind of shook things up. It's a very unconventional Zelda game. Everything about it feels kind of different from your average one, at least on the surface. But once you really dive in and peel back the layers, this is a Zelda game to its core, but with just incredible new ideas. All really centered around how they adapt the Zelda formula to an open world game. Somehow they managed to do it while still making you feel like Link, still feeling like you're doing dungeon style stuff, still exploring towns and meeting weird NPCs, and just that sense of adventure. It's all still here, and they really nailed it. And I think this thing really helped out with the launch of the Switch, because this game was like a must play. It still is a must play today, honestly.
Neat. Another game I've never played, but I've seen plenty of it.
Next over at number 5, we have Resident Evil 7 Biohazard from 2017. This is a very different Resident Evil game. It's first person. It doesn't really have too much connection to the original games. And yet, still, it's absolutely fantastic. Resident Evil 7 just kind of feels like this love letter to horror, and specifically a lot of
Ew.
horror movies. And it absolutely works. It's got the tension, it's got the scares, it's got the zany creativity, and of course it's got that survival horror gameplay. Even if it's switched to first person, you're still solving puzzles,
Scary.
stressing about ammo, and squaring off against
Hello,
weird,
Minya.
threatening enemies. Not to mention the fact that this game was just dripping in style and iconic visuals and characters and memorable moments. We're still thinking about it to this day.
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay. It's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
Ah!
You shouldn't have done that!
Oh, jeez.
It hurts!
Ah!
Now,
Oh no.
let's see what you feel.
What's gonna happen? No!
Next over at number 4, I'm sorry for cheating, but we have another Red Dead game. Red Dead Redemption 2, released in 2018, and it's fantastic. Some people would argue it's even
Looks
better
cool.
than the first Red Dead Redemption, and I don't know what it is. Is it the bigger world, more activities, more engaging gameplay, cooler shootouts, more gore, more interesting characters, especially with the main character, Arthur Morgan, having so much depth to him? It's just a beautiful contemplative world and a beautiful contemplative western. This game was a massive hit. It sold tons of copies, and what makes me happy about it is that even though it's such a mainstream thing, it told a very interesting, very specific, very unique story. A story with nuances you don't normally see in video games, but here it is packed in a big old AAA single-player adventure.
Let's move! Look out! One coming down the stairs! Let's go push up on them! God, open the tower!
What?
Now at number 3, we have God of War from 2018. This kind of reboot of the series is awesome. It takes Kratos, makes him much older, and gives him a son. With that, it also slows down gameplay a little bit. It's less of a smashy, crazy brawler and more of just a focused action combat game. This combat is actually really good, centered around the Blades of Chaos, but also the throwable Leviathan axe. It's got a lot going for it. It definitely needed a little bit more variety in terms of boss battles and stuff, but it was a really well done Metroidvania-style adventure with a really great story, a lot of character, and a lot of heart.
Ah!
Now down at number 2, jumping to 2019, we have Remedy's Control. Now 2019 was a year packed with awesome releases, but to narrow it down, we just decided to go with GameRanks' 2019 Game of the Year pick. And yeah, Control is just a great single player adventure. As Jesse Faden, you're dropped into the Bureau of Control's headquarters, and it's a mysterious, weird location where you explore and shoot it out with otherworldly, weird enemies with cool guns and superpowers. Exploring this world as it expands and getting more and more abilities as you go on, and you just feel more powerful. It's all really cool with engaging, third-person, punchy shooting, good destruction, good use of powers, but also really good storytelling. This is a unique, interesting adventure, like a weird one. We haven't seen any other like it. And definitely for people who, yes, are fans of Remedy games, but also fans of things like Twin Peaks or the X-Files, Control is unique to this day, and why we're still very much looking forward to a sequel.
And throw stuff back at him? That's neat.
Now down at number 1, we have the Final Fantasy remake from 2020. It was a long wait for Final Fantasy VII to be remade. It had been announced multiple times. Fans had been waiting for it for years and years, the remake of a beloved classic, and this is worth the wait. This thing was no joke. It's only part 1 in what seems like it's going to be a trilogy, yes, but it captures the feel of those original games and blows it out to a new audience, exposing people to new looks at great characters like Tifa, Barret, Cloud, you know, you name it. It has the same heart, it has the same feel, but it just blows it out and makes it all so much more, and just a big adventurous experience. Not only that, it's not just like a one-to-one regular old by-the-numbers remake of the original game. It shakes things up, it remixes things, it plays with the fact that it knows that some of the people playing it played the original classic back in the 90s, and that's what makes it a step above just your average remake and why it's on this list.
Here we go. Can't take me. That's that. Enough.
Pretty neat.
This is too like that. Try me.
But those are 20 of some of the best single player games from like 2010 to 2020 period. Like I said, we couldn't fit it all in here. Making this list was impossible. I was going insane. I mean, Dishonored, Titanfall 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. There's so many things we couldn't cram in here. So let me know your list down in the comments, because chances are from 2010 to 2020, you've played a lot of video games. We'd love to hear your picks, and if you just like talking games with us every day, clicking a like button helps us out. Thank you. And if you're new, consider subscribing, maybe hitting that notification bell, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
What's an underrated game
Hey, we got a cool
shouldn't
list
ignore?
of games here. Buckle up. We're talking 10 of the most underrated games of 2024. If you've sat around
Gonna step
thinking
away
that
for a minute,
2024
guys.
had
Be
no
right
video
back.
games, we're here to prove you wrong. Sometimes you just gotta know where to look. That's why you come to us, right? This is a collection of the GameRanks team's personal picks for the most underrated games of 2024. We got 10, so let's get started off with number 10. Vertigo 2. Now, if there's one part of the game industry that's just consistently underrated, it's VR games. VR players know this. Unless some massive breakout hit comes along like Half-Life Alyx or Beat Saber, most of the time these games get ignored. And we'll be honest, we're the first ones to admit sometimes we don't cover these games enough. But there's some fantastic, groundbreaking stuff that's getting totally overlooked. Stuff like this, Vertigo 2. It's a wildly creative FPS that most of you probably have never even heard of. I mean, seriously, this thing has only like a little more than 2,000 reviews on Steam. It's criminal how few people know about it. Everyone who has played it sings its praises from the rooftops. And that's real because it's awesome. In most VR games, you get real world guns. Immersive, but they don't really let developers run wild with their fun and imagination for VR. Vertigo 2 goes nuts with fantasy weapons, and they all have really unique and fun reload mechanics. It's great. The game is long, it's got a lot of unique environments, good enemy variety, creative scenario design. It's everything you want in a good first-person shooter. It even accommodates different kinds of VR players, like good VR games should. So they have standard movement and teleportation movement for people who get a little bit motion sickness while wearing a headset. It's often heralded as the next best thing since Half-Life Alyx, and that alone is extremely high praise. If you've got VR and you haven't played this one, seriously, check it out. Next at number 9, for a game that's only 2 years old, Vampire Survivors already has a long list of copycat games that are surprisingly solid. The genre of Vampire Survivor likes is rapidly evolving. It kind of existed before Vampire Survivors too, but now it's reached the next stage with Kill Knight, an awesome score attack action game that has some of the hallmarks of its inspiration, but is almost completely different. It's got hordes of enemies, and you play as a super overpowered dude, and you complete objectives and get higher scores, and you unlock new equipment and features. That's the stuff that's mostly the same, but Kill Knight is a much faster, more aggressive game. Rather than being a mostly passive experience, this game requires your full attention and concentration. There are counters, there are resources to juggle, and special abilities to trigger. It's kind of like Vampire Survivors on speed. Everything is faster, more deadly, and the entire presentation is this visual overload of flashing lights and shaking screens. I really feel like if you were playing Vampire Survivors and you were like, this is good, but it needs to be sweatier, Kill Knight should be your thing. It's a wild game to play, but it's just as addictive as its inspirations, if not more so, if you're a precision junkie who gets into one of those flow states where you just like are 100% focused on the game and you're suddenly this whirling death machine that can't be stopped. As one of those pick up and play games, Kill Knight is really satisfying and one of the very best games to come out of this type of scene. Next, over at number 8, Sonic, our man, has been having a little bit of a quiet renaissance.
You want to see Day 9 Retail
Obviously,
WoW?
there was Sonic
First reaction
Frontiers,
video.
which was better than a lot of us expected.
We can check that out.
And the amusing, the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog
Let's
game.
see. Day 9.
Sonic Dream Team, which was mobile only.
Day 9, blah, blah, blah. Do you have a link to it? This one? My retail World of Warcraft experience? Is this it? Go to Day 9 page.
I think that I will actually.
What do I go to now? Videos. Playlist, probably. It's one of these. I think he's got a World of Warcraft playlist, maybe. Most popular video? Really? Okay. Not quite. I think it probably was this one right here. My retail World of Warcraft experience. Was it from 8 months ago? Or the first one? This one? Okay, let me copy that. Oh. It didn't copy. Huh. Here we go. This is it.
Am I insane? Because I feel insane. Okay, half of you saying yes, half of you saying no. Perfect. This is the path from the tutorial. What? So I got to the end of the tutorial? So let me make sure I got this fucking straight, okay? I want to be really clear about what is happening in my mind's eye. All right? Okay, I'm gonna try not to cry. I played World of Warcraft Classic last week. What happened then? I enter into a field in front of a building, and there's a dude saying, "Go kill boars."
Wolves.
Sir, yes, sir. It's slow, it's bland, I see a lot of places to go. I start completing some quests, there's a genteel pace. I open up more and more and more and more of this world shrouded by fog, and as I wander through it, more is revealed. My curiosity guides me. The high levels of enemies stop me. That interplay guides me for like 10 hours. And I'm like learning some magic, I'm getting some skills. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of slick, thick, solid, and tight. And so I think, hey, I heard WoW retail is a pretty cool way to tap into WoW as a brand new gamer.
Good luck.
Maybe you didn't enjoy the hardcore mechanics of 2004's WoW class, that's okay. Blizzard has a retail modern experience for you. So this Tuesday, let's see, 4 hours ago, I said, I'm gonna open WoW retail, and I just hit play. It dumps me on an island where there's a bunch of people where I have to save my son. The son's like, oh, you saved me, you have to kill harpies now. And I don't know, a gnome thing, a gadget man, taped me to like a helicopter to fly up and then like fly back down and like ride a huge boar. At some points, I learned some button pressing, different abilities. It's telling me to drag things. I'm killing some dudes. I'm dragging loot over to my equipment. But for the most part, I would say in the tutorial island, 20 to 25% of it was me actually playing a game. 75% of it was dialogue and people that I guess I'm never gonna see again. Maybe some of them were at the gates and I don't know, I'm gone. I got on a boat just now. Like all these people trying to compel me to do things while it's just stapling information to my forehead. And I'm just sitting here with so many staples and post-it notes on my face, and I'm like, God, why do I need to learn all of this? And it's just like, what? It said it pretty clearly.
Retail especially.
I mean, sure, I suppose, but that's not really my problem. The problem that I had with the tutorial is it was so much contextless information with such little
They don't really tell you what to do.
That's okay. It's shoving
You're
information
just kind of
down
on
my
your own.
throat. I'm doing the UHF
That's the
drinking
thing.
from the fire hose, which, for any millennials watching, hopefully you get the reference. For any Zoomers watching, just trust me, it's gone forever. It then brings me to Stormwind. Great. This self-isolated tutorial island did have some merit in terms of showing me the basic flow of the game. It brings me to the whole world. I can now go anywhere I want to go. I go back to the original area and have a brief moment of, the familiarity, the pacing, the slow grind and growth of the game. But I say, no. I'm not done with the tutorial. I derailed myself. I have to go back. I go back to the city where I get into a car that drives me to a horse that I ride to an inn that I then go from to a boat where all of a sudden I'm watching, like, I don't know, the characters from Frozen yelling at each other. And I'm on the ship. I'm not in any of the cutscenes. It's just not about me anymore. I'm just on this fucking boat. And now I'm in a jail. And my jailmate is just like, beat the shit out of me. So I do. And now we're breaking people out of jail. And I'm still not fucking playing a game. I want to cast spells. I want to
play the game.
Spells on things. Where are my spells to cast? I'm like so confused, man. I like don't understand because this is like the most played MMO of all time, and I'm like sitting here and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this is a really weird expansion here," and I'm just I want to Frost Mage. I want to cast. I want things to be really, really, really cold around me as I freeze them and I cast things. Like I don't. And this is the thing. People keep saying to me, yeah, they really dumbed retail down. I'm actually just so fucking confused. I don't know. I literally feel like I've just been doing it wrong. That's what I feel like. It feels like one of those movies where like a high school student is in Italy and they somehow think she is the secret agent for the CIA, so she gets swept up into the mission. That's what I feel like. But the thing is, this isn't a fictional movie. This is my life, and I'm just still confused. So I guess I'm going to help Flynn Fairwind, who I hope isn't in here for like
Retail is
child
weird.
murder.
It really
hope
is.
this
It's kind of a
bad
mess.
person. The first introduction I had to Flynn
Just a
was
bunch
him
of stuff
asking me to
piled
punch
together.
him, and now I'm hoping that all these people
And
that
if
are
you're new
broken
to the
out are
game,
killing what I
like,
assume
you don't
are
even know what's going on.
innocent guards. And now I'm just gonna go out. I mean, there's so much that I'm crossing my fingers about as I step into what still may not wind up being a game. Okay? So let's find out if we can do a game.
Are you thirsty? I'm thirsty.
Am I thirsty? I'm so fucking confused. You can invite another player to your group.
What do I do?
By right-clicking on their portrait. Okay. Jesus, man, it's like, are you thirsty? Okay, let me close this. I feel like without additional context, this just looks insane. Why do you start BFA anyways? Real number, Jay. I'll be honest with you. That doesn't mean anything at all.
What
to
is
me.
BFA?
I'm following instructions.
What is it?
Yeah, what is?
For new
What
players,
is
it's
going
crazy.
on? I mean, like, the escalation is incredible. Cool. It's like a cooking tutorial where episode 1 is assembling a sandwich using cheese and deli meat. And episode 2 is butcher a cow.
Battle for Azeroth.
Like
But a new person wouldn't know
I don't know.
that.
I have no idea why I'm here. Should I? Sorry, I didn't mean to punch the microphone. Should I keep doing this? Do I keep doing this? Yeah, draw the rest of the fucking MMO. Exactly, Burner Man. Oh my god. Okay. So Ghost says this is
You
basically
like
the end of
BFA? I
tutorial
did
merging
too.
battle for
I thought it was
Azeroth.
pretty good.
Oh, so that's what BFA means. Okay. Okay, so the name of the expansion is Battle for Azeroth. And that's what you mean when you say BFA. Because when I saw BFA, my brain was trying to think of a noun that began with A, that was big fucking something. Like, that's what I assumed that you were saying. And then when all of you were saying Battle for Azeroth, most of you weren't capitalizing like with proper nouns, so I just thought that you were colloquially being like, yeah, no, you did the
Like the
tutorial
Haunted
this time,
House
Battle
dungeon.
for Azeroth. I was like, that's a weird way to say
I don't know if I ever did that one. I don't know if I made it that far.
Some cultural,
I just did
mismatch
quests.
where I don't get what the words you're saying are. Let's talk to Talia.
Dude. I remember trying to jump out of there. How do you get out? You defeated BFA? There. Got out.
All right, come on, Talia. I know exactly where I'm going. There's a giant glowing hedron to go. Oh, fuck, this is not the right way. There's a giant glowing hedron that will at least show me my destination. Fuck do I get over to you? Up here? Dude, it's just so sick. I mean, the art is beautiful. Nautican says the art department has hard carried Blizzard for a long while now, I feel. I actually think that's such an unfair statement because that implies that it's not part of the experience. It's just this like extra thing that's like, oh, when it comes to staying alive, calories are really
You didn't like
doing
the
a lot of
vision
heavy
and the
lifting.
necklace?
Like,
I didn't like the
yeah, of
necklace
course.
either,
It's
man.
Fucking,
That was
like,
annoying.
Oh, you mean one of the most important and difficult parts of making a good game is the thing that has been causing them to succeed with respect to their peers that just across the board have worse art? Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, that's like Tiger Woods' golf swing has really been carrying his golf career. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I don't. What do you want me to do with that? Like, what department's been slight? You know what? Tell me the department that's bad. What's the department that's bad? Engineering, obviously not. It runs buttery smooth. Besides the 10 server kicks, that's right. Okay, you know what? You're right, Beefy TV. I got kicked a lot my first day of playing WoW. The tutorial department, great point. The tutorial department definitely is going to have some hands on the hips from me when I meet them. All right.
The market hosts
Favorite
taverns
characters,
from
Flynn?
all over Azeroth. There are many taverns, but this one's my favorite. I spend a lot of time in here, pestering travelers.
But I have a rewards card.
Especially folks from
It tracks my miles traveled and lets me get free complimentary breakfast at the inn. Where is this office? Is it behind here? Is it through here? I feel like such an idiot. I hate these little diamonds that show up on the screen. It's so fucking misleading. Dragon Banks, has he fought anything yet? Some BFAs on the way in, to be honest. Are you kidding me? It's down here? To read the quest, maybe it'll tell you
No.
where it is. I'm
not
sorry,
in
they've
there,
added
is
all
it?
these great accessibility features.
No
so I
way.
just keep rubbing my face against walls like I'm a cat leaving pheromones or some shit. I lost my mother when the scourge hit Lordaeron. The father sent me here raised from the war. Probably going, oh, let's go. Wow, that was no wonder they were moved. You need to be close to interact with the target. I'm gonna go insane. There's
Where
a
is
little
it?
circle, and the little circle's taunting me, just the way you taunt me. You're all little circles, aren't you? I swear to God, I'm gonna find this one on my own because I'm a gamer. I'm back fucking here fucking again. I don't believe it. Did I find it? Yeah! Woo! There it is.
Master's office is just through here.
Is it? Wow! You're saying
Downstairs.
that the most
Gotta go
shitty
downstairs.
Way. I know it was hard for me. Oh, look, it's like properly right here as it's always been. Is this retail? No, actually, this is real life. What?
Stand down! Don't you know who that is?
No! I don't know who anyone is.
King Greymane, it is an honor. You are free to remain in the harbor on my authority.
What was any of this?
For family.
When am I gonna get to play a game?
For the Lord
Shake his hand.
and had her own
Hear Cyrus's tale? Is this? Don't tell me this is fucking Cyrus.
Why would you?
Oh my God.
Took you forever to find the office? Me too.
For a moment, would you?
I was like, where in the world is it?
No.
I was in a battle many
You're
years.
killing me.
It was.
You're killing
Second
me.
War? Tough to keep them all straight.
Oh my God.
An Orcish juggernaut struck our transport. Splinters from the Gustavern one. Refused to leave before the war was won. So he patched himself up. Never saw.
Brew some coffee.
All right, there we go. I figured out a way to solve
While you're
that
waiting.
problem. I mean, when am I going to get to fight anything? I mean, my God, I went through a tutorial, ran through town to get to another set of cutscenes. I'm going to town. Let's see if it's.
But she is misguided. Her advisors have kept her.
All right, there we go. Like, I mean, this is. Let's just turn that back down for a moment. Wait.
Is it time?
We're done?
Can
I
you
play
do
the game?
something?
Finally, some action. Stay on course. Duty calls.
Ta-da.
Stay on course.
Accept, complete, accept.
Speak with someone.
Remain vigilant.
Damn, Dan, I'm not reading any of it. I'd love
Music
to
is
pay a
S
monthly
tier? It is. It
subscription
really is.
To a real-time action MMO so I can read. Listen, I love reading, but when I want to read, I get a book and I read.
You don't like Mr.
You know what I
Beast?
mean?
He got his ad for his
You know
show.
what I mean? But you did for Classic.
Yeah, he's all over the
Because it was
place
the
right
only way
now.
to play. It made me play. And I had to read so that way I could know where to go. I'm upset too, sweetheart. I'm so ready to play World of Warcraft.
Excellent. Hero, Talia will get you up to speed.
Come back with stories. Kultiris is made up of several major houses. They were unified under Balin Proudmoore's leadership, but that gradually changed after his defeat.
When do you play the game?
Catherine Proudmoore now rules in his place.
Okay.
We are 5,501 gifted
Got
a
it.
tier 1 subscription to Jake
Been a
Stealth
loyal valley to the north.
Oh, all the way to the north. Okay.
Minion, thanks so much
This
for the
has
gifted
be
sub
the
to
last
Jake.
one.
Appreciate
This has
it.
to be the last one coming up.
Enjoy the no ads, Jake.
We can do this. Farewell.
No more Mr. Beast ads for you.
Action. For Kultiris. All right, Flynn. What's this big lead of yours? Something about Ashvane having a new
When
gunpowder?
the fuck do I do something
Keep
that
your
isn't
powder
talking to
dry.
people?
How is
Swung
that?
a water barrel shot.
Making new weapons.
Fire Flynn's pistol at the barrel.
Not like this.
I thought that this was a fantasy role-playing game.
Mind giving our skeptical
All right.
colleagues
Oh shit.
That.
Who are you in the context of this game? I have no idea, Firespoon. People just keep trusting me with information and handing me guns to shoot at barrels. Like, it's crazy. Dude, these absolute Olympian rowers just, we are flying through the, I mean, this is dangerous to be nearby. I don't see speed limit signs, but we're definitely going past the speed limit. If someone steps in front of us, they're gonna lose a limb.
So true.
That is so fucking sweet. Oh my God, I'm doing content. 2. Hold on, I'm gonna go talk to this urchin worker. I find any retail?
Only good thing is the
Fucking
memes about him.
Insane. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Insane, good or bad? I mean, just like insane in the sense of the word insane. It's just like, it's so unhinged. It's just welcome to the game, do this, go here, turn this in, here's 50 spells. Now turn this guy into a sheep, now hit him. Hit him as hard as you can. I mean, and it's just throwing story at me and throwing lore and telling me to do stuff. Both of those seems pretty cool. Frost.
Blizzard. Huh? What?
What? Blizzard, barrier, lance, icicles. What in the fuck? It's right. Oh. I did it. All right. Okay, hold on. Everyone just calm down. Unbelievably tight. Incredibly sick. Yes! That is what I am talking about. Dude, this combat is really fun. Holy 2! Fucking 2, you fucking guys, you bastards. Fuck you, 2. 2. B. Eats.
Keep pressing 2.
Look at all these people fucking watching me be bad. These are like the perverted cultists at the end of the movie Hereditary. They're just watching horrible things happen with their creepy grins and no clothes on. 1, 2, flick. 2, 3, 2. Dude, I can't believe I'm gonna complete a quest that actually involves gameplay. This is so sick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Oh my god. All the innocence. This is what it feels like whenever I try to engage with someone on Twitter. Mr. Benisham says, this is amazing watching someone play WoW for the first time. It's weird. Yeah, because like my understanding of WoW players is that they're really upset.
Frost Mage is fun.
They just log in for 10 hours a day and are fucking miserable.
I kind of miss playing
clench
Mage.
Their teeth, they have black tar for blood. And
that's a great video, Minya.
Thing, that Blizzard does is bad because
you got any more
is
suggestions?
For the casuals and not for them.
Choose your reward.
Yeah, I mean, both games are pretty fun now that I can play the game.
That was neat. I played World of Warcraft for the first time ever. That's 2 hours. Wowcraft? The adventure. Got any more Day 9 videos? What else does he play? Oh, World of Warcraft for the first time. Trying WoW for the first time. This guy also did this, so that's 2 hours. New player reviews World of Warcraft. This is a react to the react. Oh, a WoW vet tries RuneScape for the first time? Yeah, that would be rough. I found RuneScape to be pretty tough. Ever watched Barney's Adventure? No. What's Barney's Adventure? You're talking about the, You're talking about the movie? Barney's Magical Adventure? I can't say I have. I'm in danger. Oh, Barney's Scarab Lord? Got it, got it. This one.
This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Hey, what's up?
Is this it?
Dear Barney Beekeeper, you have been nominated for Horde Content Creator of the Year. Because this bit takes place back when you actually made videos, please come to Moonglade on January... So there I was, January 18th, 2020, gathered with what was possibly the entire population of Grobulus to celebrate our server's success and community. On this sacred night of festivities, the Horde and the Alliance would lower their weapons of war, and instead raise a tankard of Rumsey Rum Black Label to the Grub Mob. A toast to all those who make our server great, and plus 15 stam for 15 minutes. Nice. The sheer volume of people at this event was unlike anything I had previously experienced. I mean, sure, Orgrimmar on a Tuesday night is pretty busy, but this was something else.
Stop casting abilities, please!
Both Horde and Alliance together in one tiny village at peak hours on the weekend for a player-organized award ceremony? Pretty fucking cool if you ask me. Transfers to Grobulus are open. The winners for most active Alliance community are Goof! Sorry about the view, by the way. Originally I was perched on top of that building over there, but turns out that building is cursed.
Boomer.
Item 1. In the midst of the event, a random Tauren can be seen appearing out of literal thin air behind me. He trades me a lucky charm, then disappears back into the ether. A ghost?
What?
Perhaps me from another universe? Item 2.
confused.
This was the last known sighting of the famous Travels. Seen here ripping his famous catchphrase, "It's a Travels world," this hunter of Realm First 60 fame would enjoy the view for a brief moment before disappearing into the crowd he was never seen from again. Item 3. I was assassinated by unseen assailants shortly after jumping off the building. A ghost? Perhaps me from another universe? I mean, that is something I would do, and I was left on low health and finished with a gun, so... In conclusion, this building is haunted by me from a parallel universe. The winner for most influential content creator on Horde is Barney Beekeeper. Wait, I won?
Congrats,
Barney
Barney.
coming through. Hello, yes, excuse me.
Yeah,
Hi.
Barney.
Barney!
Hey guys, oh wow, I messed up. Hello, hi.
Take me, Barney.
Where'd you want to go?
Barney. Barney, yay.
Good job, Twink Boy.
Now, I won't lie to you. The recent months had been kinda tough for me, and a terrible calamity would soon befall the real world, making everything pretty shit. But as I cast my gaze across the crowd of cheering faces, I felt a warmth wash over me, and I found myself to be rejuvenated. Suddenly, I felt purpose, inspiration, and responsibility. If I am to be the Horde's greatest content creator, I need to make something that lives up to that mantle. Something epic. And then it happened, as it always does. The unchecked idea gives birth to a goal I know is improbable, but if I know the goal is improbable, then I must know what makes it so. And if I know what makes it so, then I'm already prepared to overcome it. I can do anything I put my mind to, because my mind wouldn't put me to do things I can't. So the only thing holding me back is me. And that's my ninja way. In this moment, I knew what I had to do, what it was going to take to feel worthy of this title. I was going to have to become a Scarab Lord.
Barney Scarab Lord Adventures. Good music.
What even is a Scarab Lord? Why is it so epic? And where the hell have all the videos been, huh? Where have my videos been? Where are the new video, Barney?
Barney, what up, dude? Is the vid coming? New video when, Barney B?
Hey guys, I'm awake now.
Video when?
Do you know what the video is coming? Did you know every day I check your channel and cry cause no upload? Did you know you can get 68% off a 2-year NordVPN plan at nordvpn.com/Barney64? You also get 1 month free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Make new content. Do you even give a damn about this community? When is the city? When is the video? You keep saying there's going to be
Video when?
to call me on my cell phone.
Also known as Salt.
Foot reveal? Wow, seems like you guys really have a lot of questions. Well, let's start with the easy ones. Where have I been? You know, just
Existential dread.
Just enjoying my favorite game where bosses can just decide to walk out of bounds, becoming untargetable just as they were about to die. But what if that boss
Hello,
had a
Q.
move where every time someone died, he leveled up, making him bigger and stronger?
You love me much?
Man, it would sure suck if you could teleport
Appreciate
you to
it,
him
Q.
so you fall under the map and
Oh,
die.
it's great
and
to
get
have
kicked
you
from
here.
the game because the game knows you're out of bounds, but then you get stuck in an infinite loop of just logging in,
Ah.
falling, and being kicked. I was also playing a little bit of Animal Crossing. I found this strange monument under my house, and there was this skull that whispered to me, boasting ancient forbidden alchemical secrets, how to transmute gold. But that price, that awful price. I did things to those animals, horrible things,
Oh, no.
unspeakable things. Was it even worth it? Yes. Flying under the map in my favorite video game. Did we go through that? Existential Dread. I played through RimWorld again. Probably gonna make this into a video though, so shouldn't really show this. Also, planning to make this entire video series that you're watching right now. You're welcome. It's Scarab Lord, dude. This doesn't happen overnight. Also, all of this. And now we're up to speed. Next question. What is this happen entire video series that you're watching right now? You're welcome. It's Scarab Lord, dude. This doesn't happen overnight. Also, all of this.
He moved back to UK, moved into a new place. All of his belongings are on a boat due to arrive. He can stay with parents until then. He has an old computer at parents. He can record videos on it. Can't record audio here, though. COVID occurs. In quarantine with parents. Ship with belongings get delayed. Don't know what's coming. Can't do house hunting stuff because COVID. Can't make videos because I can't record audio. Stockpile footage for potential videos anyway, so I feel productive. Exist in perpetual limbo, waiting, brooding. Also, I really cannot understate how awful living with my parents is. Lamau. Months pass. Belongings arrive in June. Move into new place July.
And now we're up to speed. Next question. What is a Scarab Lord? Whilst I'm sure most people who play WoW know what a Scarab Lord is, I'm going to summarize it all anyway, and it starts with the Gates of Ahn'Qiraj patch. In this patch of World of Warcraft, Blizzard introduced the 20-man raid Ruins of Ahn'Qiraj and the 40-man raid Temple of Ahn'Qiraj. However, these raids aren't actually open yet because the Gates of Ahn'Qiraj are closed. So how do we open
I love Fridays too.
Well, the Ahn'Qiraj patch didn't just introduce these 2 new raids, it also introduced a server-wide event known as the War Effort, and a very, 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 very long, notorious questline known as the Scepter questline. The War Effort is a giant cross-faction fetch quest that requires each faction to hand in several thousand materials of varying rarities. Did I say a couple thousand? Sorry, I meant tens of thousands. Once both factions have completed their list, there is a 5-day real-time waiting period where the war NPCs will move from their current location to Silithus. And once they arrive in Silithus, the Scarab Gong is able to be rung. This is where the Scepter questline comes in. The Scepter questline is a grueling, grindy, gargantuan task that requires an entire guild support just to stand a chance of completion. And trust me, you're going to see every single step of this bastard quest, so don't worry if I'm not going into enough detail for you just yet. You will suffer as I have. All you need to know right now is that the Scepter questline rewards you with a scepter. Yeah, no shit. And once the War Effort event has concluded and exactly 5 days have passed, a player can use this scepter to ring the gong outside Ahn'Qiraj and open the raid for their server. Following this, there is a 10-hour period where any other scepter bearers can also ring the gong. And why would anyone else want to ring the gong if the raid is already open? Well, that's a tale as old as time. Mount. In World of Warcraft, mounts are the status symbol. In some ways, they're more of a representation of your journey than your character even is. You are your mount. If you go to retail right now, you'll notice 2 things. 1, it sucks, and 2, everyone just spends all their time collecting mounts from legacy content. Fuck, I mean, I'm guilty of the same thing. I'm raiding Ulduar as I record
Mom
this
can't
audio.
have strawberries? Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, Tab, I'm here. Scholars and intellectuals have debated for centuries that the obsession for collecting mounts is the only thing keeping retail afloat, and I would have to agree with them. Mount culture permeates every nook and cranny of this game, and it only grows stronger as each expansion introduces even more mounts. But in a community-driven game that has evolved past the need for community, people aren't going to remember you. They'll only remember your mount, so you better make sure that mount is lit. Proof of your skill, proof of your ability to commit to a grind, proof that you're a lucky son of a bitch. Anything is good as long as you're flexing. And this obsession for flexing rare mounts can be traced all the way back to vanilla with the Black Karaji Resonating Crystal. Unquestionably the rarest mount in the game, even still to this day. This mount was the Doombringer, the harbinger of the end times, purely because of how rare and exclusive Blizzard made this mount. You see, this mount can only be obtained by those that ring the Scarab Gong during the 10-hour event I mentioned earlier. And once the event is over, the mount can never be obtained ever again. Never, ever. This mount is the ultimate World of Warcraft flex. This mount is what it means to be a Scarab Lord. This mount tells the tale of true gaming legends. Now buckle up for 10 minutes of lore, bitch. Welcome to Silithus, the insect-infested desert of Kalimdor. Eons ago, this desert was still a desert, I guess, but it was home to many bugs. Which I guess is still exactly the same. But it was different back then, okay? You know, back when Azeroth used to look like this before Queen Ashara went and blew up the Well of Eternity. Great job. Now, these bugs were called the Akir, and the Akir were a sentient race of insectoids who were born from old god poop. Don't believe
Very
me?
fortunate I'm
Look it
not
up.
allergic
Anyway,
to anything
the
that I
Achaea
know
just
of.
kind of vibed for a couple centuries, not really doing much, not really making any history, not really doing anything that would draw anyone's attention. But then, the Titans attacked. From space! The Titans, who are like giant space dudes born from planets, were frolicking through the universe one day when they stumbled upon the planet of Azeroth and realized something was off.
Wait, is this planet Pregnante?
And yes, the planet was pregnant, which is good, but there was still something off, which was bad. Hey guys, should there be giant eldritch horrors infecting the planet?
Yeah, we should probably do something about that.
So the Titans swooped in on Azeroth and punched all the old gods really hard. Except for Armenthal, he kind of went overboard and ripped the old god Yasharj straight from the planet, which was a mistake.
Oh fuck, what have I done?
A deep crevice formed where Yasharj was snapped from, and Azeroth's lifeblood poured out. Realizing that it's not
Stonks.
simple, you can't just kill the old gods, the Titans decided instead to construct giant prisons for the old gods. Prisons that would also function as research centers so they could try to figure out how the hell to save this baby. Now remember the Achaea? Turns out the Titans kind of decided to build Cthulhu's prison right on top of where they were living because what are they going to do about it? And the Achaea was squished. Couple thousand years later, the Titans are off in another universe doing Titan stuff. But don't worry, they built some stone robots to run these prisons. What could go wrong? Now that the land isn't swarming with old gods and isn't yet swarming with elves or humans, it's a
Lord
pretty good
Supremo,
day
I
to be a
have
troll.
not
This
seen
is
him
the
today.
height of the troll empire.
He
the
may
golden
still be
arc
cooking
of troll kind.
right
They're
now.
everywhere, and they run this shit. The Jakari tribe probably should have kept it down around Oldwar though, because they kind of woke up old god Yogg-Saron's most dedicated servant,
Paging Lord
a dude
Supremo.
called Kithix. And guess what? He's pissed. Swearing vengeance against the trolls for waking him up, Kithix used his mind magic to scan the planet for insecure beings ripe for manipulation, and he found what he was looking for. Remember the Achaea from earlier? Turns out they're not all dead. They're just underground and really sad
Love
about
his
it.
South
The
American
perfect
food
targets.
pics.
And
I
so
know,
he
doesn't that
began
sound great?
whispering to them.
Looks very tasty.
After decades of whispering, the job was done. The small tribe of
me
insectoids
hungry
had
every time I
reproduced
see them.
into an army, and Kithix was ready to go to war with the trolls. Only he definitely wasn't ready to go to war with the trolls, because he actually got his ass handed to him like the same day, and then Kithix, he just fucking died. Fuck this, said some of the Achaea, we're just gonna go back underground. And then they ran away to the north to create the subterranean kingdom of Azjol Narub. The rest of the Achaea, who definitely didn't want to go back underground, decided, no, it's time to rise up and take back our land. They ransacked the prison of Cthulhu and started building an insect kingdom inside it. It's hard to say whether or not the Achaea knew that there was an old god unconscious in the basement, but what we do know is that Cthulhu's latent energies started transforming the Achaea, and before long they had become an entirely new race, the Karaji. They named their old god prison hive kingdom Ahn'Qiraj, and then they just fell asleep for like 1,000 years. 1,000 years later, Azeroth looks a little different now because Queen Ashara...
Whoa.
Yeah. Anyway, Silithus is now a Night Elf territory because the Druids want to make Silithus into a lush green forest and plant a big tree there and call it Dordrasil. Oh, also, Cthulhu just woke up.
Wake up, go do bug stuff.
And so all the bugs woke up and flooded Silithus, and it sucked. Hey, these bugs are killing us, the Night Elf said to the Archdruid. And the Archdruid was like, don't worry, guys. My son got this. And his son was like, wait, what? And then his son died because he definitely didn't got this. No, the Archdruid cried. My son is dead. I'm too depressed to war. And so the bugs pushed the Night Elves out of Silithus into Ungoro and made 3 hives, here, here, and here. Then the bugs pushed the Night Elves out of Ungoro into Tanaris and made a hive here. And then the bugs pushed into Tanaris and made 2 hives here and here. And by this point, the Night Elves were like, hey, these bugs are still killing us. Do something, Archdruid. And the Archdruid was like, don't worry, guys. The Bronze Drakes got this. And the Bronze Drakes were like, wait, what? No, we don't care about this. Knock, knock. It's the Karaji army with huge bugs. With swords. Sword bugs. Open the caverns of time. Stop having them be closed.
No?
Now that the bugs had tried to move on his territory, Anachronos was angry, so angry, he called up all his dragon friends to come help him nuke the bugs and push them back into Ahn'Qiraj. One by one, the Drakes used their signature forbidden jutsus to thin the Karaji numbers. And then Anachronos, when the Archdruid channeled their energies to create a giant gate and sealed Ahn'Qiraj shut forever. TM. With his fire breath, Anachronos melted down the dead Anubisath into obsidian, and with it he formed a sacred gong. He then produced 3 ultra-rare gems, and together with the leftover obsidian, he fashioned a scepter.
Should you ever need to reopen these gates, take this scepter and ring the gong.
The Archdruid received the scepter, turned to Anachronos and said, what? I'm not going in there. ever. And then he smashed the scepter into little pieces, and Anachronos was like,
Okay.
Okay.
and then he flew off. Present day. Turns out the bugs have realized, wait, this is a wall. We can just climb over it. Some of us have wings. Like, what are we doing? So now Silithus is being swarmed again, and we need to open these gates to take the fight to the source. And unlike the bugs, we can't just climb over the wall. So if we're going to open these gates, we need to rebuild the Scepter of the Shifting Sands. And to do that, we're going to need help. Lots of help. Please wish me luck. Welcome to day 1 of patch 1.13.5. Turns out you can just climb over the wall. Yeah, we figured this out in like 20 minutes, so that's the end of the video series. Thank you for... Okay, it turns out the raids don't actually work until the gates are open. That sucks. Blocked out of content? Thanks a lot, Blizzard. Man, the last time I was blocked out of content like this was when I moved back to the UK and could no longer watch US Netflix. You know, the good one. Hey, stop listening to my thoughts. That's fucked up. I could have been thinking about anything. If only there was a way I could
UK has different
region blocks so I
Netflix?
could watch The Office on Netflix
No.
instead of Friends. They have Friends in the UK. Friends? This shit sucks. Okay, I guess now you know I don't like Friends, so we gonna stay out of my head now? Thanks. But seriously, if anyone knows how to bypass region blocks, that would be very helpful for me, personally. I guess we'll never know. Yeah, call me when they play the one with the funny joke. This is laughter inside my own head. Welcome to Cenarian Hold, the final outpost. Here we can find Baristolf of the Shifting Sands. Hey, what's up? I'm Baristolf of the Shifting Sands. All you need to know about this guy is that he was brought back to life by Anachronos with magic sand, and now his eternal service is that he has to stand here and just watch forever. And if you think that sounds miserable, I take no pleasure in telling you that his fate gets so much worse. Like right now, I'm supposed to be picking my quest up from him. You may have noticed he's not fucking here. We'll get to that later. Luckily for me, another Scarab Lord target in my guild had picked up the quest earlier and was able to share it. Oh, right, Scarab Lord targets. I should probably tell you about that. Getting Scarab Lord requires a lot of people with a lot of time. So many people and so much time that even large guilds will usually opt to grind for just the one Scarab Lord. And for the most part, that was the case on Grobulus. One guild, one Scarab Lord target. However, my guild, Final Boss, let's just say we had bigger plans. Ask anybody on Grobulus what they think of Final Boss, and the answer will probably vary. To some, they're just your average sweaty raiding guild.
Final Boss are sweaty nerds.
They try hard, long.
I went to a dungeon with some Final Boss members, and they were all so geared that I ended up with all the loot. It was awesome. Made me forget about my terrible home life.
To others, Final Boss are the living embodiment of everything that is wrong with my classic experience. The most repugnant server villains you ever did see. The bad guys.
Final Boss are toxic trash.
I hate them. Okidoki spits on the ground.
I heard you have to go fully world buff to every raid or they kick you.
Final Boss may have every realm first, but they will never have live.
As you can see, we have quite the reputation. And given that this is a roleplay server, it wouldn't be very in character of us to slack during this event. Why stop at one Scarab Lord when you can have 2? Oh my god. But wait. Why stop at 2 Scarab Lords when you can have 3? No. But wait. And watch what I do right here. Why stop at 3 Scarab Lords when you could just not stop at all? What? That's crazy. This is my guild Scarab Lord target list. If this looks long and ridiculous to you, that's because it is. There is absolutely no way everyone on this list is getting Scarab Lord, but when the goal is to get as many as possible, there's nothing wrong with overshotting the list. And who's that all the way at the bottom of the list? It's me! It's not looking good. But you guys know me, I'm just here for the experience. And the mischief. I've got a lot of new tricks up my sleeve I've been dying to try. It's a pun. You'll get it later. Is it likely I'm going to get Scarab Lord? No, not even a little bit. But I want to see how far I can get nonetheless. After all, this event only happens once. And what kind of gamer would I be if I didn't give it my best shot? Also, I swore to myself that I would make a good video out of this event because, you know, I make videos, allegedly. right now, Baristolf needs us to check if Anachronos and his crew are home. He'd do it himself, but he's bound to this location by blood. Or I guess in this case, sand? Now, your average troglodyte moron would pick up this quest and then take the 5-minute flight path to Tanaris and then walk the 5-minute trek to Anachronos. Luckily for you, you've entered the real gaming zone. Wow. The power of planet. It's just that easy. So now we're in Tanaris outside the Caverns of Time, or more accurately, inside a wall outside the Caverns of Time. Don't worry about it. Our current mission objective? Locate Anachronos and his friends. God, I hope we make it. But yeah, not really much to say about this quest. I just had to walk forward. So that's that, really. And then I waited for my summon back to Cenarian Hold. A warrior attacked me on low health, which I don't want. I wasn't even trying to fight. Look, I blinded him. I was trying to run away and take my summon. But then I saw his last stand run out. Oh yeah, like you take the summon without killing the guy on 1 health. Anyway, I took the summon back to Cenarian Hold and went to hand in the quest to Baristolf. The observative among you will of course notice he's still not fucking here.
He's up.
Yeah, it turns out if you flag yourself as at war with the Cenarian Hold, you can just kill Baristolf. Well, that's good game design. Naturally, where there's the potential for griefing, you will usually find a griefer. But in this case, we weren't so lucky for there to be only one.
Enter Epi for Scarab.
You got another
no one knows
menu?
who these anonymous agents of
After
chaos
this one's
were,
over,
where
or you
they
want
came
to
from,
skip
or
it?
even what
The
their
rest of
motive
it?
was. The identity of these fiends is still a heated point of contention today, with fingers being pointed aimlessly in every which direction at every witch guild, backed up by an underwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence. Intellectuals expect the identity of the Epi for Scarab Lord members to stay an unsolved Grobulus mystery until
I'm liking
the end
this
of
one.
time. But we don't need to know their identities
Need to watch more
or to
Barney
understand
videos.
their motives to understand their goal.
But not
because
Barney
their
the
goal was
dinosaur.
pretty fucking clear. Baristolf must die. So here's what happened. The Griefers would revive and kill Baristolf, then people would retaliate and kill the Griefers. 10 minutes later, Baristolf would respawn, and the Griefers would revive and kill Baristolf. Rinse and repeat. But not only was Baristolf being griefed, no, that would make things too simple. People were also openly PvPing in the streets, knowing there was too much going on for the guards to do anything about it. But naturally defending yourself would get you immediately killed by those guards. Oh, also, I have a raid at 11, because for the next part of the quest, I have to kill a guy in Blackwing Lair and bring his head to Baristolf, so, really hope I can pick that quest up sometime soon.
He's up.
No! Oh, man.
The server lag.
It's on dial-up or something.
Please, bruh.
Barney, you get it? That's your time.
Nope, I'm fucking dead. Haha.
I'd love to see a video of this from your perspective.
It's not very interesting. I gotta completely be. Yes. Let's fucking go. That was the
Got her.
worst shit I've ever done. Oh, how naive I was back then. Little did I know I'd come to long for those days of waiting 2 hours to pick up a quest. But as for right now, I'm kind of late for that raid. Yes, 39 other people were waiting for me whilst this fuckery was going on.
Thanks, Epi for Scarab Lord.
I honestly wasn't expecting the level of griefing to be this high right off the bat, but as a wise man once said,
If you didn't expect this to happen, I don't know what world you're living in.
welcome to Blackwing Lair. In the dark recesses of the mountain's peak, Nefarian, the eldest son of Deathwing, conducts some of his most awful experimentation, controlling mighty beings like puppets and combining the eggs of different dragonflights with horrific results. Should he prove successful, even darker pursuits rest on the horizon. But we didn't come here for another lore tangent. Even the quest doesn't have a lore reason as to why we're here to kill Broodlord Lashleia specifically, we just have to do it to prove our worth. You'd think if that was the case, they'd have us collect the Head of Firemaw, you know, the actual hardest encounter in the raid, implying Classic is hard. Now, this raid I'm in isn't my normal weekly raiding team. With so many Scarab Lord targets and only 5-ish raiding teams, we can only clear Blackwing Lair 5 times a week. And with no way of knowing just how fast the war effort might complete, those 5 raids might be the only heads that can go towards Scarab Lords. Some servers were predicted to, and did, finish their war effort hand-ins on day 1. And whilst Grobulus wasn't predicted to finish that fast, one thing was for certain: if you want a serious chance at Scarab Lord, you need to get a Broodlord head on your first weekly lockout. But when you're last on the list in a situation where not even your guild has enough raids to go around, you have to get creative. So I joined a GDKP.
GDKP.
So what's a GDKP?
A GDKP is essentially a pug ran by a trusted member of the community. They need to be trusted because in a GDKP, all the loot is bid on with gold. Once the raid is complete, the raid will move to a location and bid on all the items that dropped. Once all the items have been auctioned off, the money is then totaled and divided equally amongst the raiders. You make a nice long queue and then one by one everyone is traded their share. It's a pretty good system for all those involved. People can join just to make money, people can join to try and buy gear, people can join just to have fun and raid for fun. People raid for fun?
Wait, people play this game for fun?
On Grobulus, we have many GDKPs. On Horde side only, by the way. The Alliance don't know what the fuck they're doing, and this isn't even like a haha, Alliance suck meme. Like, they actually don't have GDKPs, and they also outnumber us, so it doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you guys doing?
This post made by the Horde Grobulus gang. Step it up, Alliance.
It's kind of sad. But as I was saying, on Horde side Grobulus, we got GDKPs running every single fucking day of the week. You can't even look at the trade chat without having copy pasta forced down your throat. Delicious. So naturally, in the weeks leading up to the event, I fished around all the GDKPs, messaging the various organizers to know what the going rate would be for a Broodlord head. But unfortunately for me, the head was either sold, not for sale, or just a bit too pricey for a humble Lucky Charms salesman such as myself. Once upon a time, I prided myself knowing that everything I had I worked for, but honestly, it's kind of getting old, because rogues don't really have good money-making farms, and with the great Arcanite crash of 2020, I'm starting to see that Asmongold had it right the whole time. Abusing clout for in-game currency truly is best in slot. Please send me gold. It's not even a bit. I'm not even going to send Lucky Charms anymore. I just want gold. Just give me So with no Broodlord heads available, and with all my friends either belonging to my guild or guilds that were going for Scarab Lords of their own, I had nowhere left to turn. No other options. It looks like I had run out of luck.
Sight, bitch!
I rubbed my Lucky Charm and put that thing into overdrive, starting a chain of catastrophic timeline-altering events. Temporal sickness is a very real thing. I haven't felt quite like myself since I manifested this timeline, but it was worth it, because in this timeline, Virgin's weekly GDKP actually doesn't have a Broodlord head target. In this timeline, Bon Hoovy is too put off by the Scarab Lord grind to want it. So in this timeline, the Broodlord head goes to me. And because I re-rolled timelines until I made it this way, in this timeline, I don't even have to pay for it. God, I'm fucking good. Anyway, the rest of this raid was a pretty standard ordeal. We finished in about 90 minutes with no wipes, which is pretty damn good for a pug. If you came for dungeon drama, I'm afraid I've let you down. The best I can do is let this clip play out wherein I go 12 seconds without getting healed and die.
Hello, Moonshot. What's going on?
I hope this helps. After we killed Nefarian, we ported to Orgrimmar to auction off the loot. Usually this is done in the Valley of Spirits, but instead we opted to jump out of bounds and do some of the auctions underneath Orgrimmar.
10 minutes later.
Multiple people were reported to have been bleeding from the eyes due to the aggressively orange background, so we moved to do the rest of the auctions behind the Ragefire Chasm portal. After the loot was auctioned off, I received my split of 379 gold and took the flight path back to Cenarian Hold. All things considered, I was making pretty good progress. I had secured my Broodlord head, I had doubled my gold, my roommates cooked
you got one,
dinner, and I had a
All
big
right.
bag of water and other legal substances. Needless to say, I was overcome with optimism.
Check
was
that out
until
next.
I flew into Cenarian Hold and saw the swarming mass of people and realized, oh no, I have to hand this head in to Baristolf, and he's still being griefed. No. For 2 more agonizing hours, I had to watch Baristolf
Imagine
spawn, live,
spending
and die
hours
over and over.
just trying to turn in your quest.
Epi for Scarab Lord had at this point been griefing Baristolf for 6 hours, and morale was at an all-time low. The Chaos Insurgents had succeeded in wearing everybody down, and the people cried out for relief, for an end to their misery. I reached across my desk and lightly caressed my framed image of Jeff Kaplan and closed my eyes. Please, Jeff. Please help us. Hear my prayer. Do something. Do anything. I opened my eyes. Baristolf respawned, but I was late. I spammed revive and mashed my Interact macro. The window opened, I clicked my quest, I handed it in, and I...
Yes! It's funny!
As you can hear, I was quite ecstatic, but not as ecstatic as Baristolf, because as you might have noticed, he's still fucking here, not dying, not dead, not under attack, but alive, and standing proud, ready to hand out quests. And you want to know why? Because after 6 long, awful, harrowing hours, Blizzard had finally taken notice of us peasants and reached out their giant frosty hand and made Baristolf invincible.
This is wow.
No changes, by the way. And just like that, the evil was vanquished. Epi for Scarab Lord was no more. Now let me tell you about the next part of the quest. To rebuild the Scepter of the Shifting Sands,
Wow.
we need to locate the 3 gems I spoke about earlier.
your best
Unfortunately
Owen
for us,
Wilson
we
voice.
have no idea where any of them are, and the only person that does hates us. So naturally, Anachronos isn't going to be telling us a damn thing. However, there's one thing Anachronos hates even more than us.
Those damn bugs.
Baristolf reckons if we kill enough bugs and provide proof, Anachronos might yet still be swayed. So he brands us with the Mark of Nosdormu and asks us to kill bugs in Silithus to improve our shoddy reputation with the
Wow.
Bronze Dragonflight. I don't know what
Does it
I
sound
did
like Mao?
personally to be hated by these bronze dragons, but I'm not... As an agent of Nosdormu, anytime I kill a bug from one of the 3 hives or the spire outside Cenarian Hold, I will be able to loot between 1 and 4 Silithid carapace fragments. Once I have 200 fragments, I can hand them into Baristolf to improve my reputation with Anachronos. Oh wait, my reputation's really bad. How many times am I gonna have to do this quest? He will also give me a proxy of Nosdormu, an item that lets me deputize other people so they too can collect fragments without having to do all the steps that led up to this point in the quest. Speaking of proxies and good reputation, NordVPN.com/Barney64.
Alert. Cyber deal.
Save 68% off our 2-year plan and also get a free month and also get a free gift on top. Cyber deal.
I literally paid my taxes using NordVPN because the state of Michigan for some reason doesn't accept payments from IP addresses outside the USA and I'm in the UK. Hello? I just want to...
Cyber deal.
This service stopped me from
You're
accidentally
fine, Minion.
committing
This is a good
tax
one.
evasion.
I
So
liked it.
that's pretty good.
NordVPN.com/Barney64.
Now, with the ability to loot carapace fragments from the bugs, I set off to Hive Zora, where my guild were currently
It's about
stationed. The
ready to
system we
wrap
had
up
going
here.
at this point was
This
pretty
one?
simple. All fragments farmed were to go towards the current Scarab Lord target, which at this point was Typo, and slowly over time he would deputize other people in the raid as he got fragments. If you were currently one of the few people able to make the fragments drop, you were given a raid mark so people knew to let you hit mobs at least once so the fragments would actually drop. For the purpose of this video, I would be allowed to keep my first 200 fragments for myself just to serve as a benchmark for how long it would take to farm that many. I'd say under normal circumstances, a solo player could probably farm about 100 fragments in about an hour, but we weren't the only ones here. With Baristolf now invincible, there was no longer an arbitrary roadblock holding people back, and so pretty much every single guild going for Scarab Lord on the server began pouring into the hives at the same time. The floodgates had been opened. The great bug farming had begun.
Oh, that's part 1? Really? Man. We gotta get moonshots now. Let's check it.
Max? Good. Sophie, ready? Watch it now, honey. Watch it. Watch it. Ready? Catch. Ready, Sophie? Oh, good try. Ready, Max? Ready, Sophie? Ready? Oh, almost. Ready, Max? Good boy. Ready, Sophie? Oh, almost.
Poor blonde.
Ready, Max? Good boy. Ready, Sophie?
Sophie, you're dumb as a stump.
Ready? Oh.
She doesn't even try.
Ready? Good boy. Ready, Soph? Come on, try. Try hard this time. Ready? Oh. Let's see the picture of her with it on her head.
That's funny. What's this one? Oh, episode 6. Okay, here we go.
Hey there! Huh, hi! We could really use your help. Come here. Hi, we were all dying. He's suffering from terminal cancer right now. Oh, look out!
Carpet.
Here, I'll time you, just in case.
We watched some earlier too. Mmm, tasty.
Oh, there's some more. Look out.
You watched them all?
Oh, you're almost out of time.
They're great.
6 seconds left. Oh, what a shame. Too bad. You didn't do it. You didn't do it in time. Oh well. Here, you can have it. You can have that. Good night.
Brutally truthful. Yep.
Oh, hi. Come here. We could really use your help. See, we're all dying, and come on, get over here, help us. We could really use your help.
What should we watch next? What do you think? Doo-doo. Blizzard forgot the level requirement. Your video? Oh, I forgot yours. Sorry. Let's get that one on. Oh, Asmon, what WoW 2 would look like? All right.
This is what WoW's gonna look like in 700 years.
Long ago, the Orcish horde was corrupted by the Burning Legion and lured to the world of Azeroth. For generations, the Orcs made war upon the human kingdoms of Stormwind and Lordaeron. Though the horde was ultimately defeated, a visionary young war chief named Thrall rose to lead his people in their darkest hour. Under Thrall's rule, the Orcs
I hope it looks like
freed
this someday.
themselves from the chains of demonic corruption and embraced their shamanistic heritage.
This is
After
nuts.
years of wandering, the Orcs founded their own kingdom in the harsh wastelands of Durotar. Based in the warrior city of Orgrimmar, they stand ready to destroy all who would challenge
WoW
their
4 is going to be
supremacy.
amazing.
This is what it looked like whenever I played it the first time.
As a proud defender of Durotar, it is your duty to crush your enemies, both seen and unseen. For the nefarious agents of the Burning Legion still wander the land.
Nice.
This is fucking amazing. Look at that. Oh god, man. Why is this hasn't happened yet, man? Turn it off.
needs
Turn
to.
it off. You don't want to see it. WoW 2, please. Like, I would just love to see something like this. This would be so amazing. This guy needs to be hired somewhere good. Yeah, this is amazing. I fucking love this, man.
I wonder if he's done any other ones. Gotta check that guy out. Vulcan. Popular videos. Orc intro. Got a lot of views on that one. What's this?
Long ago,
Oh,
the
this is how he
Orcish
did it.
horde was corrupted by the Burning Legion and lured to the world of Azeroth. For generations, the Orcs made war upon the human kingdoms of Stormwind and
insane.
Lordaeron. Though the horde was ultimately defeated, a visionary young war chief named Thrall rose to lead his people in their darkest hour. Under Thrall's rule, the Orcs freed themselves from the chains of demonic corruption and embraced their shamanistic heritage. After years of wandering, the Orcs founded their own kingdom in the harsh wastelands of Durotar. Based in the warrior city of Orgrimmar, they stand ready to destroy all who would challenge their supremacy.
This is what it looked like when I first played it.
As a proud defender of Durotar, it is your duty to crush your enemies, both seen and unseen. For the nefarious agents of the Burning Legion still wander the land.
So realistic. All right. Anybody got any other suggestions? Holiday specials. What does Carbot? What are they making now? You can find a couple more? All right. Let's do it. Space Marine 2. Diablo 2, the game, the movie. That's an hour and a half. All episodes. League of Legends. This is Spiritborn. I gotta see this. Spiritborn. Spiritborn can do it.
Attack now!
That's exactly it.
That's it? Hey guys, it's Mead's best friend. We got the Carbach calendar.
Thanks,
and there's
Moonshot.
only
Yeah, 8
2
minutes,
days
no problem.
left before it's gone forever.
I'll watch
so
one
make
for
sure
half
you
an
get
hour.
your Carbach 2025 calendar now. Get it for Christmas. Bye.
It's all good. Finally. Aww.
Ronan and Emma Lally own a small farm that they run alongside their day jobs. They have a lovely collection of animals, but wanted some ducks to complete the picture. So they got in some fertilized eggs. On the day they hatched, Ronan went to check on them, but couldn't find the ducklings in the barn.
Within seconds of that, a cat jumped down from a pigeonhole within the shed over there, and
Meow.
I kind of put one and one together, and I just presumed that the cat had swallowed up the ducklings.
At this stage, they were missing for about 6 hours, so Ronan thought there was no hope at all.
After searching round the farm, they eventually found the ducklings. But unfortunately, the cat, Della, had got there first.
I ended up catching the cat with a duck in her mouth at this stage, and it really looked, Ronan was like, she's going to kill the
I was
duck.
thinking, oh no,
Yeah.
we're only after getting them back, and now she's going to eat them right in front of us.
Then, Emma noticed something unusual.
I was like, Ronan, she's not actually forcefully holding this duck.
That's when the amazing thing happened. We put the cat down, put the ducklings down, and then all of a sudden the 3 little ducklings waddled straight underneath the cat. The cat lay down on her side, put her paw over one of the ducklings, and was kind of nursing the duckling in towards us. So we were
cute.
just absolutely blown away with this. Because normally cats would eat little small birds, but it was awesome. It was just incredible to see it.
She was very content at this stage. She was purring and she was really loving towards the ducklings. When I was petting her down, I noticed that she actually had given birth to 3 kittens only within an hour or so beforehand.
It was a very lucky coincidence for the ducklings that the cat found them just after giving birth herself. For a narrow window of a couple of hours, mothering hormones will have been coursing through her body, causing her to love and nurture any small, warm, furry creature she found next to her.
That's lucky.
I have no doubt whatsoever that the cat was thinking dinner if she had seen them either maybe a couple of hours before or a couple of hours after. I've no doubt that she would have put the napkin around her neck, knife and fork, salt and pepper, the whole lot.
But it was when they came to move the unusual family into a safer spot that they got an even greater surprise.
As soon as we lifted up the cat, that's when we were totally amazed because the ducklings were actually latched on to the cat's nipple, so...
They were hanging from her. Yeah, it was very, very bizarre.
When we seen them breastfeeding, we just thought, oh my God,
Yeah.
there's something very, very strange happening here, and something very strange and also something very unique, you know?
Duck mums don't produce milk, and ducklings are born ready to find their own food and water from their surroundings. So to see them suckling a cat is extraordinary.
Ducks and
Experts
cats,
can
yeah,
only
can you
guess
believe
that
that?
their natural foraging instinct calls them to come upon the milk as an unexpected food source. And their desire for warmth and comfort kept them close to their foster mother.
It's unbelievable.
Ronan was keen to separate the ducks, fearful the cat's predatory instincts might kick back in. But Emma, being a midwife, recognized something that she regularly sees at work.
There was just so much love there, you know, and like I see it every day in the labour ward. They just want to hold them babies so tight and close. It's a moment that just lasts forever, and I could see that happening with the cat and the ducks. It just took me a while to convince Ronan. I says, Ronan, they're just so in love. They love each other. Like, you can't break this bond. It's amazing.
Before long, the ducklings started to outgrow the kittens and gain their independence, something the cat wasn't so happy with.
These ducks, her yellow kittens, were a lot more active, and she found it hard to control them. She
Get
was
back
trying
there.
to bring them back underneath her and say, now be good like your brothers and sisters.
Doesn't exist in your part of the world. I think I just got lucky.
Several weeks later, the kittens are still small, and the ducks, although independent,
wow.
still have an attachment to their surrogate
Still go
mum.
around with it. Huh.
So it would seem that this rare coincidence of a cat giving birth just as the ducklings were making their first steps into the world resulted in this remarkable situation. Filled with an instinct to mother small furry creatures, the cat ignored any natural urge to eat the ducklings and took them on as her own.
Incredible.
Now, it could be argued that all of this only happened because it was a domestic situation with animals that were unusually close to each other. But there are other examples that suggest the mothering instinct is so strong, this can even happen in the wild. A few years ago, the most surprising example of misplaced mothering took place in Kenya.
The story of this lioness and oryx has an unhappy ending, but not for the reason you might think. A newborn oryx, surely just minutes from being this lion's next meal.
You saw this one before?
But to the complete amazement of the rangers who were monitoring the situation,
Spoiler
the lioness
alert.
didn't try to eat it. Instead, she cared for it as if it were her own young. Just like the cat with her ducklings, a strong instinct to protect and nurture was overriding the predatory instinct to kill it.
Many theories were put forward as to why she was behaving in this way, and the consensus was that she was a young lioness who'd gone through some kind of traumatic experience involving being separated from her pride, and as a result, her mental state had led her to want to nurture this calf in some way.
But unfortunately, the relationship came to a sudden end. When the lioness took her eye off the calf for just a few moments, a male lion pounced and killed it. Witnesses described her behavior as exactly that of a lioness who had lost her cubs. Heartbreaking to watch.
Sad.
Everyone thought that was the end of the story. But the lioness went on to adopt not one, but 5 more oryx calves. Now, none of the relationships lasted as long as the first one, but this continuing fixation points to a traumatized animal, desperate to nurture, even if the young in question isn't her own species.
That's crazy. Very interesting. I didn't expect that. Not at all. think it's just the sweetest thing. Yep. Cat. Aw, so small. 5 weeks later. TF. "40 times animals messed with the wrong opponent." Yikes. Did you say you had one more, Moonshot? Think we can fit that in before we go for the evening? Okay. No problem. Baby penguin tries to make friends.
At the colony, 2 weeks have passed. The chicks are testing their independence and spending time away from their mothers. All, that is, except one. As the last to hatch, he's way behind in development. While the older chicks are boisterous and confident, he still feels most comfortable in his mother's pouch. But penguins are sociable birds, and to survive, he must learn to play his part in the colony. It's a daunting prospect.
He's got to make friends.
But the little chick finds some courage.
You can do it. See this one? Here we go. Best drummer cat ever. Yeah. Way to go, drummer. What an amazing drummer. He's got skill. That was amazing. This drummer's at the wrong gig. What? Showed up at the wrong place? Huh?
I'm going to take you to where me and the fellas performed at the Texas Motor Speedway. It holds 350,000 people. And I tell you what, those 37 people that saw our show, sir, had a terrific... Nothing like it. Most exciting... Well, all right, maybe it was a big 37, sir. They just made a lot of noise. But anyway, It echoed in there like crazy, didn't it? One person yelled, just go, woo! Well, all right, this next one, though, Texas Motor Speedway, that's where we're taking you. The heart of Texas, the Lone Star State. This is by 3 Texas boys done good, ZZ Top. A little something feature our own resident shop dress man, Mr. Dustin McCray. How about a hand from the state of West Virginia, Mr. Dustin, the Big D McCray.
Look at him. How does he do it? Your first cat? Alright, we'll check that one out. That guy's incredible. Ah.
Come here. Alright, sit. Cool. Down
Your
low.
first cat?
Down low. Oh, good girl. Good girl, honey.
Hmm. A treat. Nice. She learned tricks for the first time at 13 years old. That is impressive. That's cool. How is this even possible? Orangutan driving a golf cart? I don't believe that that's even a thing. steering pretty well too. You've seen meme edits, but never the original. This is it. Pretty impressive. It's a really good driver. I love how it's hanging onto the top, just kind of chilling. It's very capable. Rambo's been driving since she was young. She has since graduated from smaller toy vehicles up to golf carts. Yeah, apparently. Apparently it's a real thing. Rambo's good. Rambo's a good driver. Hanging on in the turn. Wonder if they ever let her drive a car. Oh, was this some sort of zoo? Oh, she's driving around the zoo. Got it, got it. Now it makes sense. I was thinking somebody had a pet orangutan. World's smartest orangutan. Is this her too? Looks like it. Monkeys react to magic.
The baboon's just scratching his butt. He's like, I don't even care. Alright, Wes, do it. Oh, you're boring.
He's showing you a seat. He's saying, dude, do the trick.
No, he's ignoring you. Okay, do it. Oh! Woo! Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what are you doing? Huh? Okay. This is the one. Hmm? Ah. How'd it get on the other side? Stick it on there. Okay.
Oh, look. You can have it.
Sorry, your peanuts have disappeared. I will download more. Meanwhile, have a banana and some milk.
Hmm? You gonna eat the iPad? It's a hat. Hat iPad.
Come on, try yourself.
Is it gonna work? That must be very confusing.
Yay!
Stay tuned for more iPad magic and please subscribe to my channel.
All right. Well, I better go. It's starting to get a little late. Thanks everybody for hanging out and watching. Appreciate it. Thank you, Moonshot, Q, Minya. It's been awesome to have you here. Take care. Have a great one. And we'll catch everybody next time. Peace out.